That's the shit that's pissing me off. If not, I'm just gonna have to probably play with you through my fucking laptop, which is gonna be a fucking journey together. Yeah, I'm not excited. I'm truly not excited.
Oh, now it says I'm gone again? Oh,
There,
rip.
try it now. I've got it to.
Hello.
I got to
Hello,
where
hello, hello.
everyone is on 3 separate fucking things.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm so fucking sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, because this is normally what I have it as. Like, previously
I
what
hear Game and Max. Okay, cool. Are they balanced? Is everything okay?
I'm
If
going.
everything is great, put your favorite movie in chat.
Fucking Deagle's like, I'm never fucking having this bitch again. And I'm like, you know what? I understand.
Nah, Deagle goes through this crap all the time too. Like when we're setting up for tournaments
Yeah.
and stuff, we're like, damn it!
I love how some people mess me like, you're so fucking sound. I'm like, yes, thank you for telling me.
Ooh, Shutter Island, good choice. It's a good
Okay,
movie.
I assume we're all good. I had to adjust something in the settings to where I forgot when I do actual just no stream recording, I set my audio slightly different. I think that's what fucked it up. Because I was doing some recording last time, but on my end, I see desktop audio. Max, speak.
Hello.
There's you, and then there's me. Okay, I think we should be good. I think we are set, and if we're not, fuck all of you. I'm done.
Deagle said, would you like to go over those 5
No. Give
skill
me a
sets?
minute.
No? Okay.
No, I'm joking. I'll do it. Oh, let me turn on my controller. Okay, I'm so sorry. All of you. Forgive me for me being absolute garbage at OBS settings and anything to do with anything with streaming. Can y'all tell I never fucking stream?
Me either. It's fine.
You never stream as you streamed a billion hours of Metal Gear Solid? Don't lie to me.
It's only 93.
Only 93. Alright, but everything sounds okay at least? We
Yep,
good?
sounds good.
Alrighty. Okay. What we're gonna do... Oh yeah, we're gonna go back to the skill settings. Alright. Since the most popular category and the one with less RNG is New Game Plus, that allows you to use weapons that you've already gotten, all the ammo inventory from previous runs, so you can keep all that, and you can also have skills equipped. Where New Game Plus, you can't. You have to start out with your default weapons, you can't really have skills equipped at the beginning. It's basically like you're starting from a fresh save. But normally the skills I use 5 different ones, and the one you'll mainly use is this one right here, the number 1. You got Infinite Magnum, basically infinite ammo for your Magnum. Magnum Mastery, which increases it by 50, the power of your Magnum by 50. Firearm 3 increases it by another 50%. And the Firearm 3 also goes through all the other weapons as well. Masteries only do it for that certain weapon type. Alright, the second one is more set up for getting out of QTEs and trying to do certain QTEs in order to progress the story faster. With Breakout, Breakout again makes it to where you get out of QTEs a lot quicker. And it says enemy grasp, it also means other QTEs, like more of the lovely control stick spinning gimmick. And infinite ammo, firearm 3 to keep that train rolling with some firepower and no worry about ammo. This this is better when you have more Magnum Reserve, which you can grind in this game. And it gives you more firepower. This is good for some of the bosses in chapter 4 and 5. And basically, you do basically it's the usual mastery and firearm and shooting wild, which increases it by another additional 50%, but you have no aiming reticule, so you're just blindly aiming. So if you're good at aiming, you get a lot of firepower out of it. The fourth one I use mainly.
So it's useless for me, is what you're saying. That's fine.
I mean, if you are you able to aim? Wait a minute, no,
Nope.
you can't. Never mind, forget I asked. And number 4 is more what I use at the beginning of chapter 5 to clear out certain rooms, mainly for Helena, and another one to progress, like the actual get to the next area and progress. Because grenade power up increases the grenade like power, of course, hint by the name, and it also does increase the range by a little bit. Shooting wild does the same thing, because shooting wild affects grenades and weapons. But the thing is, with shooting wild again, you have no reticule, so you are blindly aiming. So that's all. If you want to use that and you don't have grenade power up, you can, but I just prefer grenade power up so I can aim it, because one of the grenade tosses is very precise, and I don't get it all the time, honestly. And this one's optional. There is a part in Chapter 3. You have to basically snipe enemies. So you can use the Magnum if you want. I usually use the rifle because it's more accurate from a distance compared to the Magnum. Surprise, surprise. And I don't keep a lot of rifle on the backlog, so I have that there. It's not required, but I keep it on for Leon. Alright, now we've gone through
So
audio hell.
we do have a question real quick. It says, I don't know exactly if they're talking about points or what, but Jim asks, I don't have for Magnum the mastery skill. Where can I grind kills with the Magnum
Hold up.
the best?
Give me a second. Alright, I don't know what version you have. The PS4, Xbox One, PC has a mode called No Mercy. And basically, you go to that mode, do solo, don't play it normally. Go to whatever level you desire. And, find a character with a Magnum. You can do it that way. Chris has a Magnum. Jake got a Magnum. Like, just do a character, like with Sherry has a Magnum, do a character with a Magnum and do it that way. Or you can go to certain areas like certain areas in Leon's Chapter 1, like 1, 2, 1, 3, and just do it that way and grind the kills for them. There's 2 ways to do it that way. Now for arrows, like in matches like for the arrows and grenade launcher, I honestly recommend probably doing No Mercy, because it's just quicker and easier. And if you are curious how to get skill points, go to Jake Chapter 4, and it's either, yeah, you go to, I believe this one. It's 4-3 or 4-4. I can't remember. I always forget which number it is. Forgive me. But there's just an area. Basically, all it is just a hallway, and there's like 3 chests of skill points. Just go on No Hope, because that's where you get the most skill points. Go on No Hope. Go down that hallway. Go straight to the loading screen door and just quit out and keep doing it. You'll get a lot of skill points that way.
That's a good tip. I like that.
Alright. Any
Cool.
other questions?
So, I'm going to go ahead and let you get started. I actually have to use the restroom real quick, but I'm going to let you go ahead and count down and everything, and I'll be right back.
Alright. And since... Well, I'll go back over this, since we had that lovely problem. This will be on amateur, the easiest difficulty. Leon is the fastest character. Helena's faster in Chapter 3, and she's more consistent in getting a better time in Chapter 2, but you can match that time with Leon. When you get to this section, go to offline, because even if you do it on private or no one can join, it will create a lobby, and it makes loading screens and certain other things go a little bit slower. And this game does count for loading screens. And like I say, yeah, IGT counts for loading screens and cutscenes. Attack reaction don't allow, because whenever you shoot the AI, which will probably be often because they like to walk in front of you a lot, you'll shoot and stun them. If you shoot them too much, they will get stunned and do a slow get up animation. They do not have a health bar. Don't worry about that. It's not like 5. You don't have to give them ammo and shit. And make sure you have infinite ammo on. Alright. Let me do something real quick on my end. Okay. Alright, on the count of 3, we're going to do this. Okay? Or when I say go, I should say, I'm sorry. 3, 2, 1, and go. I'm glad Twitch is not updating the chat for me. It's truly a remarkable day.
So what's so special about this church?
Alright, this beginning part is literally a walking simulator.
If I don't tell you we're the Cathedral, you may not believe me.
You're gonna tell me everything. Once
I
we
will
get to the
say it's better to
cathedral.
be Leon, especially
Deal?
in this section, because a lot of the triggers to go on depend on him. Like that door, Helena can't move until he goes through the door. And in terms of the next section, there is a co-op door. There is a certain line to take in order to get to where Helena doesn't go around in a circle, because the AI is special and just goes to the door immediately. Basically, you take this kind of line and make sure, do not press the button whenever you first see it. Kind of walk into the door slightly and then press it, and she won't do the alley-oop to get to the door.
Got it.
She'll just go straight to it.
This is where the reception was gonna be. They'd all be here eating dinner right now if...
And again, this is another spot where Helena will get down here faster, but it's not that big of a
I
deal.
hope so.
It more matters in co-op than anything.
I can't believe this is happening again.
But like I said, right now it's just
Just like
walking
Raccoon.
simulator for like 8 minutes.
You're one of the survivors.
With only very
Yeah.
few
I'll
sections
never forget it.
that really
going to this
you can
cathedral
kind
of
of
yours.
push and gain a little
But
bit
if
of
you really
time
did
to.
have a hand in this, you can kiss your freedom goodbye.
Twitch, why you no update chat? I hate you. Sorry if I can't see anyone's chat. Like anyone, if anyone's asking questions, I immensely apologize. For some reason, Twitch is not updating the chat
Only
for
one way
me.
to find out. Let's go.
So that's pretty spicy. And I wish I could be surprised. So as Max is taking the piss of the world. Oh, by the way, it doesn't really matter what line you take. It'll lead you, like, it's basically the same time for this.
In the back.
There we go. Skip cutscene and move on. Alright, this is my inventory. Hold up. This is basic walking simulator too. What I recommend, at least have 1 stack of remote bombs. You need at least 20 fire grenades, because fire grenades are Jesus in this game. And I keep 2 stacks of magnum ammo, at the very least, if I do the shooting wild thing, because it's still, since I won't have infinite ammo, I can at least have some extra ammo to get some extra power and not have to worry about going, like, losing it. The other 2 slots, it's whatever you want to do. I keep shotgun for Deborah's boss fights, because there's a way to do it with the shotgun that's faster than where I used to do it. But I will try to show both of those off when we get to that point in the, like, the run. And the AK is to make a certain skip maybe easier if I can pull it off. It is very, like, time frame based.
That's quite a drive.
But otherwise, this part is literally just waiting for Old Man Jenkins
We will. Just
to
stay
come in.
close.
I love my remote bombs. I also love fire grenades. Burn everything. But,
Okay, I am back.
Welcome
Sorry,
back.
I had to feed the cats too.
the precious babies. You need some more pictures of kitties. I do love me some kitties.
I have 4,
Oh,
so
excellent. I love all of them. I will steal them. All of them.
all of the snuggles. Okay.
Damn right. But, yeah, we're at the waiting game. By the way, stand in this spot. Leon has to stand in this, like, this area. Helena can't trigger this. It has to be Leon that triggers Old Man Jenkins to talk about Liz in the weirdest manner. Because the way he says that line is really weird, and most of my friends make fun of it. It's your daddy,
mainly weird
Liz!
because of how old Liz is. Like, Liz is not a small child.
Yeah, and again, I think it's the actor. This doesn't do anything, but I like do it because it looks weird. The way he says, like, it's your daddy, Liz, and I'm like, are you okay? It's really weird. Come here.
Yeah, so I feel like, and I asked you this question before when we were doing the RE6 race. I guess it was last week.
Yes.
Yeah, I asked you about like IL speedrunning and like speedrunning the like individual levels of the campaigns. And I was like, this one feels like it would be really interesting and fun to speedrun because the beginning is like so lame. Like, not in a bad way, but like you have to wait for Old Man Jenkins the entire time.
Yeah.
So it's really a master class in getting the character in the appropriate spot
Yeah, it's mainly
to
Leon
trigger the
that triggers
dialogue.
it.
Got the
Yeah.
keys.
It's
Once we're in, we
interesting.
can
The
take my
beginning
car.
section doesn't affect it as much. It's mainly the later
Thanks.
sections.
Let's
And
find a way to
another
get
thing
the hell
I
outta here.
did, or like a little bit ago when he was pushing the door, if you're Helena or Leon, kick it, and you can go through quicker because it'll trigger that cutscene with the elevator faster.
This way.
And plant a remote bomb about that section. What triggers the next cutscene is is only like whoever you're playing as, Leon or Helena, going through the going to the elevator to trigger the next sequence.
This way.
So plant a remote bomb there, you go past it, and you basically fly into the elevator, saving you some seconds. Whenever in solo, when I get to where I can't walk anymore, I tell Helena to follow me so she's a little bit closer. Because there are several points where the AI will stand there. There's certain areas, there's actually a good idea to tell her to follow you, so she'll react faster. To actually
I'm
move
also
closer to
noticing
you.
that like you're using Old Man Jenkins to boost you through the
Yes,
hallway.
you can do that. You can do it in co-op. It is so hard in co-op. Also, this is
Oh,
one
I
of
would
the
imagine.
sections I was talking about with the attack reaction. Helena will automatically aim her gun, and in order to trigger the next section, you need to basically go to Liz to trigger her. If you have a partner, she can just shoot you into Liz faster to trigger it. One of the few sequences where god damn that slide, where attack reaction's actually useful.
Make a difference. Yeah, there's actually that comes up a lot. Obviously it's a completely different run, but like the entire idea of like speedrunning games where the speed tech involves you doing something random in order to get closer to a trigger, like immediately, it comes up a lot. It comes up in a lot of games that I run too, including Outlast. One of the things that we do a lot in Outlast speedrunning is we will jump into triggers. Because there's a jump mechanic, and at the end of the jump, you get like this little stun, but you travel further. So if you jump into triggers, you don't get the stun.
Huh.
So I think it's funny that like a lot of these games, especially a lot of the games that are now on Steam, that are like kind of these more modern-ish games, that a lot of like, or I wouldn't say a lot, but there's like a solid portion of speed tech that is related to how can I throw myself into the next trigger.
Yeah, because triggers are
Without worrying
very
about-
important in games.
I'm glad you guys were
And also
here.
notice that Liz is not a small child. Again.
Yeah, and regardless of what you do, as you saw Helena slide back, she's looking at some of the dead bodies. Yeah, regardless of what you do, the AI is gonna slide back behind the AI bitches. So there's no way to speed that up. I am curious to try something, maybe like an out of bounds, because what triggers the next area, a sequence, is basically whoever you're playing as for the elevator. This game that does have some very minor out of bounds things, but it doesn't matter because the game depends on you and the AI to trigger something. Like you need both you and your partner. It's one of those games where you can't be like la di da di da. I can go over here. No, it won't trigger the next event usually. You need like you have to trigger a certain sequence of events, which is more which is also common. I think in RE7 there's one where they perform it out of bounds and then they have to do like a sort of puzzle to make sure the story sequences still go. It's like sort of like that.
Yeah, because you don't want any sequence breaks. Because if you have like a sequence break that like ends up, because unfortunately, like in older school games, I know like when we do randomizers, sequence breaks are perfectly fine. They don't really do much. But like on more like the modern games, like the sequence breaks really mess up the chain of triggering events, and like soft lock City, so, which is unfortunate.
By the way, beginning of the elevator, I try to shoot some of the zombies for the AI to get through better. And usually you'll see me slide into where cutscene triggers will happen, because I still gain some distance while I'm sliding during the cutscene. I won't be able to move, but I'm still technically moving through the cutscene. So you'll see me like slide into certain triggers and stuff. Sliding is also important because it also cancels certain stuns and trigger stuns.
Oh, that's cool.
Sliding is
You're
very
also
broken.
wearing like olive oil because you slide for like 30 yards in khaki pants on concrete.
I guess the leather jacket means nothing.
I mean, bruh, if I slid on concrete in my shorts, I wouldn't be wearing shorts, and I
You get a
probably
good
wouldn't have
burn.
any skin on my thighs either.
Oh yeah, but
Like,
that would burn. Okay. There is a trigger right here that you can't really do it in solo, because you can actually use the fire grenade to skip this section right, that cutscene. But the thing is, the AI behind you will trigger it. So in co-op, if you time it just right, you and your partner can run right through it and not trigger that cutscene, because that cutscene still takes time. And
I think that's actually kind of cool. It might be one of the few games that I've heard of, at least in the RE universe, where like the AI. Well, I mean, it might also do it in maybe 5. I don't know, but like where the AI is like a big problem because the AI can trigger cutscenes.
Yep, this game is quite has a plethora of all those. By the way,
Yeah,
you see me
so
aiming at the door, like whenever opening it. It's to cancel the door opening animation so I can run through faster. Okay. And this area can go in 2 separate ways. Sometimes Helena will literally ignore all the enemies and go through just fine. It's rare, but she can't do it. Or if you want another options, you can throw a fire grenade at the first few enemies if you don't want her to do some of her melees. To
yeah,
show you
actually,
get through
in
the door.
terms of like Capcom and speedrunning, dude, fire grenades and explosives are super
Broken.
OP.
Yeah.
They're hella broken.
Mm-hmm.
They do like so many extra things besides kill
Oh,
enemies
I
and
was gonna
burn
say,
shit.
in Leon's co-op, we do so many fire grenade animation cancels. It's quite useful. And if you noticed earlier, I stumbled upon a zombie, because at least if you're using a controller, you have to hold the co-op button and slow down. At least if you stumble over a zombie, you still could keep your running speed and call Helena over to follow you faster. Okay. And this is
I hate the stumble mechanic though.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Okay. For this section, this hallway right here. This hallway is triggered by the amount of kills you get. There's also a time base to it. So if you end up taking too long, it'll automatically trigger it. But if you end up killing all the outside zombies super quickly, and then killing more zombies later on, you can trigger the next sequence of events faster. And if you do it right in solo, Hunnigan will begin her final line like only by like a few words and go to the next section without completing the sentence. In co-op, she'll never say it. Like it'll go right when she's about to say it or a little bit before it, and it will just go straight to the next section.
So, Solus, I have a question. I don't know if you talked about it yet already, but I actually have 2 questions. The first one is, I think I know what the answer is with the Magnum, but
That's fine.
I see that your reticle goes up and then back down. Is that just due to the recoil on the
That's
gun?
it's the recoil and you switching weapons. And
Okay,
the
I
reason
was
why
gonna say, that was the other thing. Have you talked about like the whole switching weapon thing?
that's what I
Like-
was about to mention. But
okay.
the reason why we weapon switch, you can also side switch, but side switching makes the aiming worse in my opinion. Basically, by the way, that was a good hallway. Basically, if you switch your weapon or side switch, it cancels the recoil. Like with the Magnum or the shotgun, it's extremely noticeable. Let me show you, like this. So, if I do just normal, I can't fire until it's done. If I do weapon switching, I could basically make it a Magnum, like a machine gun Magnum. So you get more DPS out of it.
Sweet.
Yep, you can do that with shotguns, Magnum. It's great for the Elephant Killer, which that has a shit ton of recoil because it's basically the SW 500 from 5. Okay, you can run by him.
Elephants.
Yeah, come here. Okay, yeah, certain points it's good to stand in a certain area to trigger the AI to follow a certain path. Because if she went forward, it would have triggered her to trigger a zombie to get up. And that would waste time with her coming towards you. So sometimes it's good to sometimes wait a second to make sure the AI is following your path. Because the AI tries to take the quickest path possible to you, and sometimes that pathfinding is something to behold, put it that way. Capcom good with pathfinding, that's adorable.
That's like asking Capcom to like create actually good hitboxes.
Ooh, that's nasty. Have you seen RE2 Remake and 3 Remake? I mean, what?
Yeah.
There we go. And you saw I did the front and the back slide to go through the lovely gate a little bit further while getting the cutscene plays. A lot of the in-game cutscenes, the game is still active. which is sometimes a problem with this game in my opinion, because the zombies can still fucking grab you during it, and you're just fucked.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, what's up, Chad?
Yeah. And this section right here, doesn't matter. You just need to get to the police car. Doesn't matter who gets to it first, but whoever gets to the police car, that triggers the next event. And sadly,
Obviously,
go
it
ahead.
would be slower here, but is there any way to like do kind of like that trigger or that thing that we were talking about earlier? Like, is there any way to explode you into the car?
You can actually get your co-op partner to shoot you if you have
Oh, okay.
yeah, because you fly further, you fly faster than you run, like the reaction, and you can also technically do the recovery, which if you press X during it, you can do that roll, and that's also faster than you're running by a little bit. But
Also, so
usually,
we have another message from Batman. Sorry to interrupt, but
no.
it says, "How does a barber give the moon a haircut? Eclipse it." How you
Ban
feel
him.
about that? Ban him? I like your
No.
style.
No.
We don't even have to worry about that. Oh, Batman.
Ban.
Oh, my boy.
But yeah, that's one of the other things. By the way, you can't sadly look at the visor first. You have to look at the glove department first. And I always go to the back to lead Helena, then go to where I need to be, because it again brings her AI closer to the trigger.
Oh, okay.
Because you can't activate jumping down to Hunnikin and them like shut up basically.
Got you.
But
So
it's
I have a
just-
question for the upcoming section for
Yeah.
you, actually, when you get to the railroad section. I know it's a little bit early, but my question is, when you were learning this game to begin with, Solus, how many times did you get run over by the train?
Not too often, honestly. I've had, like, I would have to find that video clip again unless Wesker Reborn has it, like, on fucking hand immediately. There was one where I avoided it and got hit in the same frame, and it did some really weird shit. Like, I was in dying state, but I was doing it and walking normally. By the way, if he does, yeah, if he does post it up, be wary because no one in my chat decided to tell me, but I was extremely loud in that clip. My audio was super loud on my mic, so be wary if he does post it.
Wow, you cut it really close before you hit that quick time event.
Yeah, it's better to run as far as you can. There's
I
also
feel
an
like I
option.
get hit, like, every time.
Yeah, there's also an option to do auto one, like an auto QTE if you're on amateur. I tend to press it because that's just me. And originally when I started running this game, they didn't allow for checkpoint resets. But ever since I started modding, I allowed it because it brings the AI closer to you, similar to how 5 does it. So this subway section got a lot easier to do because you can just bring the AI closer to you.
I mean, I don't know why. Like, I don't know why it wouldn't be allowed to begin with, unless there's some like weird shenanigans.
Originally
But,
in RE,
like,
I'll say in RE5, the timer went like it would reset the time. In 6, that timer keeps going. By the way, if you decide to do 5, like I'm gonna just restart spam until I get a perfect run. Don't do that. I want to tell you right now, your time's not gonna look good at all.
it was a good train section, though. Like, is there a consistent pattern for the train? Does it always go on the track that you're running on, or
Yeah.
It does? Okay.
Yeah, the train's always consistent.
Okay.
There
I was
is
just wondering,
the
'cause
next section. This is probably what you're referring to, as well. The next section, the train over here, will always be on the right side of where you're running. And there's yeah. I always stay to the right for a bit until like towards the end.
Is that just because the train tracks curve to the right, so you're getting more traction going around the corners?
Yes, and you also lead the zombies more towards the areas because they'll die. So less likely for zombies to follow you and make the AI do whatever it wants. You can actually turn more to the left quicker if you want sooner, but it's better to do it right at that point where I kept running to. It's better to do it then because you gain more distance. It is a little risky if you're not comfortable with it. That's fine, you don't have to do it, but
That's
it's
what
just
practice
FYI.
is for.
Yep.
Also, yeah, what's up, Neo? I saw you earlier, by the way.
Oh, oops, I messed that up. That's fine. Just a minor thing. If you do, you could jump down right before the cutscene starts. Nothing bad. Also, if your AI partner's really far away, Basically go to the co-op door and let go of it, and depending on the distance,
Just don't leave me behind.
she'll start running to you. So she'll actually go into the sprint.
Oh, cool.
A lot of people don't know that.
So I know we were talking again about we were talking again earlier about the difference between like New Game and New Game Plus and
Yeah.
things that like the skill overlays and the skill sets that you need and so forth. But like on a New Game run, like if you were doing a New Game run, like would you take the time to look for certain areas for skill points and then to
I
buy certain
only...
skills?
I was gonna say, when it comes to this game, basically, certain enemies will always drop skill points, like Bloodshots, the Whoppers, which you'll see more of those in Leon's campaign later. There's certain enemies that will always drop skill points for you, which you can collect. Great, fantastic. Because usually with Leon's, I try to get Firearm 1 and Breakout, if possible, or Zombie Killer, which are great for his runs.
Okay.
But,
Cool.
most of the time with him, I don't try to look for it. Jake's, I actively try to look for it because Jake's requires a lot of firepower because he has a lot of, like, Ustanok boss fights, which is basically the nemesis of this game. That's the
He's
only
a big
campaign I
boy.
really try. Yeah, that's the only campaign I actually semi-try to get skill points. Otherwise, it's more of a time sink than anything because a lot of the later skills require a lot of skill points. It's not really worth it.
And you see this lady coming up right here?
Fat
This
Amy.
is the female Dario.
I call her
of
Fat Amy.
Fat Amy, dude.
By the way, I should not slid earlier to call the AI. It's just a habit. But it basically, the next sequence triggers whenever you touch that that button to do the zombie, like, oh no, zombie come through the shutters kind of thing. And the AI will always teleport to you, so you don't have to worry about that. And you
I
can,
actually did not know you could slide under that shutter so
yeah.
early, so that's really interesting. What the heck? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a bad thing. Sometimes the AI will ignore the zombies, which is great. That's what you want. But sometimes she won't, and you just kind of have to call her.
Better a Dario than a Brad, ain't that right?
What are conditions like up there?
Brad sucks.
Brad is a thing that exists. I forget Brad exists sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, man.
So this is Leon and his partner Helenal, right?
Helenal. It's always
Yeah.
Helenal. Remember that. Not Helena. Helenal.
Yeah.
So good. There we go. Yeah, that was a stumble cancel I did. It's not like it's better in co-op to do that than solo, but I always again do it out of habit. But yeah, if you slide right before the stumble triggers and even build the slide animation, you will not stumble. So that can always save a lot of fun times.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big things we were talking about in the race last week too, was that like ever so often the AI will just like stop to not shoot,
But sit
just
there
to
and aim for an
their
hour?
gun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Oh, she was actually really close.
which is also very, very strange.
Well, to be fair, fucking RE5 does the same. Like Shovel or Chris will do the same thing, where they'll literally just sit there and aim their gun for a minute. And I'm like, are you okay? Are you gonna do it? You gonna shoot? Or are you gonna follow me?
She's green.
Also, what I did there is where if you go trigger that sequence backwards, you'll skip that cutscene. Again, the AI will sadly trigger it, so it's literally null and void in solo. I do it because it gives me a chance to possibly kill that one zombie before she jumps over. Sometimes she'll be like extremely close, like she was there, and it's just like she's right in my face. But yeah, you can't sadly skip it unless unless you're in co-op, because both players have to do it. Come on, Helena. Yeah, I love the fighting tooth and nail with AI, man. Sometimes this actually
it
goes
all
well.
started back in the good old Outbreak days, the old school days of Outbreak speedrunning.
Outbreak had some of the worst AI, I swear to
Oh
Christ.
boy, trying to speedrun Outbreak with the AI was absolute anus. It still is actually, but back in the day it was real bad when we were still learning how to
Rev
get
2.
around different things.
Rev 2, which eventually I want to do something for that game. Fucking Rev 2's AI is also little garbage. Mainly Natalia's, but that's a whole nother ballgame of hate.
It's okay, you don't really need Natalia. All she does is point.
She points and does the power of the mighty brick.
Nah, just point.
Also, it
I
doesn't.
always thought that Rev 2 co-op Barry's campaign was the
Was
most
so
pointless
shit.
garbage.
It was. Honestly,
So,
Barry felt very shoved in personally.
Damn it.
oh, I mean, I love me some Barry Burton.
I like Barry Bird. Don't get me
So-
wrong, but his campaign was not as polished as Claire's by any
As
stretch of the
Claire's,
imagining.
yeah. I mean, well, it's obvious who's Capcom's favorite, but
I have this.
I have this.
Hello, the Chris child. It looks like Chris from RE1 here.
Who is
That
the
Pokemon.
master of unlocking now?
Alright, let me open this. If you do this right, you can start opening the door and not get grabbed by him. So you just get that stun effect. And
I will be
avoid the
right
grab.
back. I gotta help my dad with something real quick, but you're doing a fantastic job. Keep it up.
Yay! Alright, this section, just run. Run through. Pray to God Helena follows you. My Helena's been very aggressive. She's been spicy aggressive lately.
Nails on a chalkboard.
But you basically want to hope that Helena doesn't get behind the Shrieker, which is that toad-ass motherfucker, because that would waste time, and she'll just literally get behind him and get stuck. Kind of similar how it is with Liz and Old Man Jenkins. Alright, throw her over. When you jump down, shoot him. Shoot him immediately. Because, if you shoot him with his throat exposed like that, he'll kill all the other enemies. But if you do it too slow, his scream will stun you and Helena up there, which will waste time. Also, it's good to try to kill him anyways in a new game because it gives you skill points. Again, super handy in new game to a degree, at least to get some of the certain setup. Come on, Helena, you are an aggressive little girl today. Alright, I always equip a grenade for this section because this section is based on kill count. Throw that over, and just start shooting. There we go. Kill that group, and this you, again, shoot his throat to do the screeching because it'll kill other zombies around you. And if everything aligns correctly, it'll do it to where the ambulance, which is the next trigger, will basically come, and that will trigger the next sequence of events, and then you just wait for the final part. This is all based on kill count, and it is, again, semi-time based if you take too long. But I do recommend at least not sitting where the ambulance is, or you will die. I want to see if I can do this. Nope, I did too late. That trick I was trying to do was a little bit more frame perfect, but if you end up doing it, shooting at the oil right when he starts saying it, it'll trigger the cutscene, like it'll trigger the following cutscene immediately instead of going like, hey, you need to shoot the gas. It'll cancel out that part entirely and just skip straight to the actual cutscene to skip.
This way.
And you just move on to the next section. Cutscenes still count for IGT. So that little in-game cutscene where he's like, hey, by the way,
Who does he think we are?
can you shoot that gas? That still counts for time. And Gun Shop. Gun Shop is infamous. It used to be extremely RNG based to actually complete it until I found out a trick. Thank God, and it works on all difficulties, thankfully, so very useful. But when you first come in, shoot those two windows, and that will assist you in the next following, like the very final sequence, to trigger the old man up there to call you up to the second floor. Because the first floor is when you get to the final section with Peter, the Bloodshot. Okay, that's a good kissy. When you get to the final section with the Bloodshot and the other zombies that spawn, it'll basically depends on the radius of the enemies around the gun shop, and depending on how many you have around, the old man will call you. But whenever you restart, it ends up despawning enemies around you, except for the enemies that spawn behind the window after that certain cutscene with Peter dying and the Bloodshot. You basically throw a fire grenade at the Bloodshot to stun him to where he doesn't reach the radius. And you kill the zombies behind that window with these two windows with a fire grenade. And it'll trigger the sequence automatically. Super useful. And all of this is just waiting for the timer to roll. You can kill if you want. I generally kill because it's entertainment, man. Let me Twitch. Are you being nice to me? You gonna show me chat?
No.
Chat, please.
Stay back.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry I keep stepping away.
Nah,
It's,
no worries. And this
it's a
is the
downside of living with some elderly parents.
I understand. But yeah, this is the part with Peter. Whenever Peter gets eaten by the bloodshot, restarts, and wait a second for Helena to walk by, because the AI will always walk by. Then throw the grenade at the bloodshot, then throw the grenade through the window. It'll kill the zombies behind the window, stun the bloodshot to where it won't go into the radius of the gun shop, and he'll call automatically up. If you do it the normal way, it'll, basically you're gonna have to hope and pray that the dipshit up here will call for you. There we go. I
He's the
tried.
Herschel.
I tried to slide trigger for that to shoot that this window, so it makes it easier for me to go to the next section. And this sequence right here is based off how many enemies you kill, in addition to if enemies get in here, it'll increase the timer of the gate shutting off. So keep that in mind. If you let an enemy in here, it'll generally increase the timer by a little bit. It's my favorite. This sequence is honestly garbage. I hate this sequence in New Games. This sequence in New Game is really annoying.
I mean, the grenade tech for the bottom floor to get Herschel to call you and kill the bloodshot was really cool.
Yeah, I literally found.
Casually takes a while.
I'll say I found that completely random one day. I was like, let's give it a shot, and I'm like, oh, it works. And I'm like, does it work every time? And I'm like, oh, it does. But yeah,
Best strategies are found that way.
Yeah, this sequence is super weird. I'm not the greatest at this sequence in solo, so you're gonna have to forgive me on that. I've never been that great at it. But yeah, I usually try to throw a few grenades at that side portion and hopefully to kill them. But sometimes that doesn't always work. Alright. Go through the door. Once you dipshit closes, and you wait for Fat Man to come. The Whopper.
Oh, big boy.
He's a big boy. He's a chunker.
Thick thighs, save lives.
Okay. When he starts standing up straight, that's when you can shoot him. He's in invincibility frames up until that point, so don't shoot him. And the next sequence triggers when you kill him. And he does drop skill points. The fat people drop skill points.
You hear that, chat? I drop skill points. So if anyone wants some skill points,
I want to grab these.
just come on by and I'll drop you some. Obviously, I carry my skill points in the fat folds.
I was going to say, just lift up the titties. There you go. Also,
yeah, don't shoot me. I'll just give you the points.
Normally, in New Game Plus, you don't have to grab those grenades. New Game, I recommend grabbing those grenades for obvious reasons. But I always recommend opening this door yourself. Because for some reason, whenever the AI, like the AI dipshits you have, your ragdoll fucking crew, there's some reason whenever they open it, it'll close back. So it wastes time. Because you need to have them come up along with you and Helena to trigger this next sequence. It's super weird. I love Bloodshot. And this sequence right here is all time-based. You gotta wait for the old man to be pulled up from the heavens, and you gotta wait for the bus to come. So just do what you want. I recommend at least killing some of the enemies, because again, you have to, the next section to trigger the, oh, nice counter. To trigger the next sequence, you need everyone downstairs, including you and Helena, up to a certain point. And guess what the AI likes to do? Sit there and shoot. It's really remarkable. If not, there is a thing you can do. If she's sitting there aiming, you could just kind of push her. Because she'll sit there and aim, and she won't really move, so you can just kind of push her into the sequence.
Just like use your momentum to give her a little nudge.
Yeah, once she jumps down, you're fine. Alright, with the fat dude right here, you have to by the end of the suicide sequence, you have to at least have him stutter or do that stumble 3 times. Once he does the stumble 3 times, you're good to go. And you can do whatever you want. Again, it's really useful for no hope speedrunning or new games, so you waste less ammo and resources. By the way, Leon Chapter 1 is literally the longest chapter in the entire game.
No, our friends. Oh.
Oh no.
Kick him. Ugh.
There we go.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
35-33. That's not bad, huh?
I usually sub 34.
Say what?
I usually sub 34.
Yeah, but you were also talking,
That's
and
true.
you took a couple times to stop to explain
I was gonna say,
things.
honestly, it's not. Like, if you get a mid 35, it's honestly not that bad. Like, it really isn't. It's trying to get a 34 or like a really low 34 is super hard. And this is the Cathedral. I hate it. The beginning section's a bit RNG because there's those lovely holes that you can fall through. You don't have to worry about them if you know what you're doing. The AI, on the other hand, Oops, I didn't switch the right.
Deagle asked, does the IGT stop when you pause the game?
Yes. If you pause like this, it stops. That's fine. Yeah, it's not like RE1 Remake where the timer keeps going. It does pause. Now, if you go to this screen right here to like adjust your settings, switch skill points and stuff, that still keeps going. But if you just pause the game like normally, it does stop IGT. Okay. And Leon's part 750 curse of any vehicle he touches dies.
Helena, are you okay?
Yeah, especially once he drives himself.
I love in RE4 that car just crashes.
He can't drive.
No, he can't. Alright, this sequence right here.
So that does not work on co-op runs, though, correct?
I think it depends. But on solo, just plant a remote bomb somewhere near that statue. I promise you, you'll kill Doggo. And the Doggo has key that you need to get. And co-op, depending on your like connection with oops, okay, never mind, I did it. That was another example of the stumble cancel if the lightning. But yeah, for some reason, depending on your connection with whoever you're playing with, it'll do some weird shit. My connection with Zach, the dog will literally hyper spin in a circle, and I can't hit him with a remote bomb to save my life. It's so I had to run down with him to kill him, and it's absolutely atrocious.
Oh no, I think the question was about whether or not the IGT pauses when you pause on
Yeah,
co-op.
yeah, it does. Oh, no, in co-op, no, it does not.
Okay.
No. Now, if you do in couch co-op and do offline, yes, it does. But if you do online, any sort of online, even by yourself, if you do that, you can't pause the game either. So keep that in mind too. I should have mentioned that. Yeah, if you do it online, like instead of offline, you can't pause the game like this. Such a weird thing, but yeah.
So did you already preemptively blow him up?
Yep. That's why,
oh, okay.
That's why you plant a remote bomb there.
What is the visual cue or whatever you're looking for?
Basically, whenever you whenever the dog triggers, you see the key in his mouth, and you get off like to the next cutscene. You just blow up the remote bomb, and it will do it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it will do it. You don't have to have a visual cue or anything. You can even wait a little bit, like I did, and do it. But it's best to do it immediately when you get to the next section.
And this is fast.
Yeah, and this is where the RNG comes in, because sometimes the AI will like to fall into those lovely pits. It is faster to do the remote bomb as well, because the dog has a 5 to 8 second dying scene, and you have to wait till the dog completely dies to pick up the key. So it's best as well with the remote bomb, run down, because his dying signal is going to be over by the time you run down there, and you can just go.
So it's drama queen too.
Yes, exactly.
The dog's a diva.
You killed me, and I'm like, let's go. Can you give me the key, bitch? Alright. Just run through here. The shriekers don't matter. Get to this one section right here, like right when you're at the final part of your stairs, and you can call the AI to follow you to get to where you need to go. Usually in a new game, I like to try to kill one of the shriekers as they come up, so you can get their skill points.
Are the Shriekers another enemy that always drops skill points?
Yep, that, Bloodshots, and the Fat Fucks.
Ah!
Yep, always will drop skill
boys.
points. And here's the Notre... here's the Notre Dame here.
Cathedral with me or what?
We're not in France.
We're in the U.S. apparently. All right,
The
this
French
next
part.
sequence is another one by
I know
kills.
someone's in there.
Let's go, bitches. Try to kill as many as you can, for the love of God, because if you fuck up this sequence, it will actually cost you a lot of time.
So I'd be interested in tech on this. So you are still just gonna go with the Magnum and like just gun them all down, or are you gonna
You can,
use more of like the grenades?
I do use the grenades. I tend to do them a little bit later.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I was gonna say casually for me when I was like playing through this game casually, I like grenaded the crap out of everything.
Yeah, the grenades are actually really good. Yeah, church bells is the first sequence of the kills, and then you get to the point where the dude that looks like Jake with black hair comes from the distance. He's like, "Hey, fuckers, I have a rifle. I have balls." That's the next sequence, and then the other one is the final sequence is where you can actually go into the cathedral. I like to do the grenades towards the final one because I have a bit more distance. I'm trying to remember, there's a certain count you can get, and it is a little bit difficult to do. It's like a count of like 10 or 12, I think. I could be wrong, and I could be an idiot. It's been a minute. There we go. And
Well, I can certainly say that this went a lot faster than I've ever done. This area.
Yeah, this area can be a little bit of a bitch in my opinion. There you go. Come on, Elena, honey. But yeah, and especially in New Game, it's going to try to keep the Screechers alive as much as you can, at least until their throat swells up. So you can shoot their throat, and they can do trigger kills for the other zombies.
That is true, Bat Dance. I had a lot of friends come in on Agent Hunter and try to murder me.
Oh, I love having Agent Hunt on, like, casually. It's great. Alright, let me see if I can do this. There's a skip you can kind of do with the cutscene if you hit the right spot. I did not.
He's in the PSA.
If you hit the spot where the ladder drops and it hits you to do a stumble, you skip that cutscene showing Helena kicking down the ladder.
Oh, that's interesting too. I never knew that.
It's very precise. Oh shit. Okay. I was trying to do the thing where I slide and pick it up, but it's a little bit finicky to do it this way. Now, for some reason Leon can't do this, but Helena's character can do this. If Helena looks at that board that, like, right next to the lemon or orange looking fucking pedestal, and throws a fire grenade as she's reading it, it'll cancel the the animation of her like looking at the writing for a few seconds, but she'll still read it. So you can automatically do the co-op. So you can either do, if you play Helena solo, you can do that immediately and start doing the sequence for doing this, or in co-op, the Helena player, as you throw her up there, can do that immediately, then go to the ladder right after.
Let's go.
Cool.
And this is another sequence. For some reason, once you put the Madonnas in, if Leon immediately, as you do it, walks backwards, he'll skip the cutscene of showing the door, like where you need to go. But Helena will not do it. It's super weird. I don't know why it does that. How many okay, still got a few grenades.
I also think it's funny here that you have all these survivors in this this church area, yeah, and like none of them notice like the weird crap with the statues and like the fake doors and everything else.
I don't give a shit. They're dumb.
And then, you know, obviously, you know, the survivors would just go up to the top and shoot all the bells with snipers or assault rifles or whatever.
Clearly. It's the most fake fucking hits I've ever seen, which Resident Evil is, like, famous for. Where you just look at a hit and you're like, excuse me?
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, by the way, this lovely, run to the switches, like this part right here, both characters, are set, so they'll always spawn in the same spot each time. They're never random. The only one that's random is in the previous room, where sometimes it shows up for Leon first, and sometimes it shows up for Helena first. Also, if your AI partner gets shot, it is slower, but that's, nothing I can do about that.
Yo, just tell Helena to get good.
Don't be stupid. Bitch.
I find it weird that these catacombs that had corpses in them for decades are now infected.
It's okay. Don't think. Feel. Just feel the stupidity come through your veins.
Don't think it's Capcom.
I can't believe it's not Capcom.
Appreciate it.
Alright. Yeah, most of this is pretty set. And this is mainly the part with Helena's more consistent than Leon. Because a lot of Helena has to work with some stupid stuff. That sometimes her AI literally doesn't know what the fuck. However, there's a later part where Leon's AI will just stand there for a good minute until some text box finishes, and that just slows it back down. So I found it fascinating how weird areas like add and subtract time. It's quite fascinating. Also, if you tell Helena to move in, she will not fight the zombie. She'll go to the point where you need to go. Basically, you want to say, follow me if you want to lead her to an area. But if you're separated, it's best to say move in. So she'll actually do what you want her to do, usually. Usually. Not always, but usually. I'll hit that invisible wall, thank you.
Is it pretty clear cut that the AI like knows to go and aim at those mirrors like instantaneously?
Yeah, if you don't call them, she'll still do it. She'll just kill that one zombie for like an hour.
Oh,
Sometimes.
okay.
Sometimes she'll straight up ignore it, the other time she's like, fuck this zombie. And I'm like, okay. But can you like come here?
Like, yo, you do you.
Yeah. Okay. Now this section right here.
I feel bad shooting.
This section right here. You can either use the rifle, the magnum, handgun, or AK. AK is a bit more consistent with actually shooting the small bells, personally. But sometimes it doesn't give a shit. I sometimes use the magnum, and I sometimes like this lighting glitch that makes everything fucking bright as hell. Isn't it great? Can you see everything?
I love seeing everything.
This game is dark as fuck. Alright.
Yeah, I noticed that the like it went from like that monochrome like super bright.
Oh, it
back
could
to
happen in the
color.
gun shop too. It's really jarring in gun shop. Alright, we fight Titty Monster. We did it. We killed Titty Monster. Fantastic.
We have a question for the bells. Can you use the shotgun as well?
If you try hard enough, probably. I would recommend the shotgun personally because of the distance, especially Leon's. Leon's his shotgun has a lot more spread to it. It's not like the M3 where it has a lot more distance.
That would be interesting on whether or not like you have bullet drop.
Yeah.
In a game like this, and if like the shotgun, because I'm gonna assume that your boy is not using something with like buckshot or something that goes everywhere, but still, nonetheless, like for some of those weather vane bells, I would assume that the shotgun probably would not work so well.
No, it really wouldn't, because it does after a certain distance. It won't do like the spread will not be as good. Also, this sequence of events, 2:10, 21, and the next section is 2:01. It's always the same regardless of what you do.
Roger.
And this is one of the sections where if you, like for example, with my part, like with me, I'll go to the first sequence, would do those numbers, and the last number, or a little bit before the last number, my partner would throw a grenade, and instead of like it did earlier showing the cutscene where the door opens, it'll cancel out me showing me where the door is opening and I can move earlier. And I do the same with my co-op partner on the next door.
You see? Grenades, OP.
This way.
Oh yeah, that's why I have like 20 of them. That it also helps clear enemies for Helena's beautiful AI over here.
This way.
And like for those of you in chat that don't know, this has been a trend with Capcom for years. It like not as much animation cancels as much dialogue cancels.
Yeah, dialogue, and then there's also technically the OG quick shot, which this game has its own type of quick shot, so that is its own separate moveset, but there's also kind of those that they did. I always found it very fascinating they finally added it in this game as an actual move you can do, in my opinion.
Yeah, because in RE2 Remake and RE3 Remake, there's areas, I know it's really prevalent in RE3, not as sure about RE2, but where you can skip whole dialogue sequences by throwing grenades on the floor. Especially in New Game Plus, because you obviously get a rocket launcher, so you don't even need grenades, you just fire a rocket at the ground. and it'll skip dialogue. Pretty cool.
I think there's also a few of those, like even like with certain cutscenes they'll still play. You can do things like that because I know what was it, the titty bat boss, the titty bat boss thing. You can shoot the rocket a little bit before the cutscene activates, and you'll kill him like immediately in the air. It's super weird. Capcom has a bunch of weird like things with their games that I don't understand. I think it's a lot to do with the engine. Because, yes, the RE engine is a little bit different, but its baseline is basically this engine right here. And it's just updated. So a lot of the core factors from this engine are still there. To a degree. And I'm like, okay. Also,
yes, Titty Bat Boss. I think she's talking about RE5.
Yeah, I'm talking about Titty Bat Boss from RE5, yeah.
Yeah.
The one with its succulent weird nipple thing. It looks like it's part insect, part bat thing for some fucking reason.
I don't think those are actually nipples. I think those are supposed to be like legs. Like little legs or something.
I hope they're nipple legs, so whenever he walks, it just lactates.
Oh, Lord.
Images Max didn't want today. Lactating titty bad bitch.
Yeah, lactating titty bat boss? Yeah, I definitely was.
Good.
I did not have that on my bingo card today.
Don't worry, put it somewhere on 2020. It's okay.
Yep.
If in our Lord and Savior 2020, it's gonna be there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like to throw the fire grenade to try and help clear out the enemies for Helena. Like I said, sometimes saying move in will trigger her to go to where she needs to go faster. Also, this next little sequence right here, this area right here. These zombies will never literally attack you, you can just run through. I've had points where they did attack me, but that's when the game, I was playing with somebody with some very good internet connection, in quotations.
I'm not gonna name drop.
I don't remember their names.
Oh.
They were randoms. But
Random.
yeah.
Ooh, look at those points back there. Ooh, there's points that we're ignoring.
You damn right. I don't need them.
For some good looking points.
Yeah, they're all based off chess pieces, which is interesting in my brain.
Capcom has like an addiction to chess too.
Capcom got addiction to a bunch of weird shit.
Although to be
Like
honest,
hentai.
given their skill at development most of the time, I'm pretty sure none of them even know how to play chess.
Do you think they know how to play checkers? Checkers is easy.
Not very well.
Do you think they can play Connect 4 at least?
Oof. Maybe Connect 3. I don't know if they can count to 4.
What about Tic-Tac-Toe?
Yeah, we'll give them that one. I'll give them that one.
That's like, if you can't play Tic-Tac-Toe, you're just dumb.
So we're coming up on Deborah.
Yeah, Deborah coming up.
Any special...
Deborah is
strategy
hella
for
RNG.
Deborah? It's
There-
RNG? Okay.
It is. There's two ways to do it. The fastest way is for her to jump down immediately. And for you, as she's kind of moving around the floor, showing all her bulbs, to shoot them all down with like the shotgun or a magnum, whatever you prefer. I prefer, you need at least something with a high power to it, because you want to destroy the bulbs in one shot. But sometimes she'll continuously jump over, and then she'll expose her buds at the top, like she was on the upper second floor. You can shoot one of them with the magnum, and then she'll drop down, and then you shoot the second one like that, and then you can shoot the third one as she gets up. In co-op, it's better for her to jump over and expose all the ones on the second floor, because if you and your partner time it, you can destroy two of them at once in that sequence, and then when she drops down, you destroy the third one and continue on.
You take care of her.
But there's
I
a
feel
lot
like
of
our time's gonna
RNG
be
to
hella
it.
complicated.
Yeah, Deborah's fucking RNG as hell. It's my favorite.
Deborah.
Deborah! The way her name's spelled should be Deborah at this rate, shit. Yeah, this is also the sequence I was talking about if you play as Helena. Helena is carrying Deborah. She does a wimpy-ass kick, and she runs hella slow. She can't sprint. So,
And the idea right now is you playing as Leon as you're trying to get to the cutscene
Yeah.
where Ada pops in.
Yep,
Yeah, okay.
then that's what triggers the next sequence. Thing is, you can do the checkpoint here, and restart to bring Leon closer to you. But the thing is, Leon will not start pushing this box until he says his line with Hunnigan.
Damn it.
So you have to wait for him to all that line sequence to start, stop before he starts pushing. So that's where a lot of the time, like saves kind of end with Helena. There we go. And if you press A right before the box finishes, like pushing, like you do like one push earlier, you can just go through quicker. All right.
Deborah.
Time to equip my big boy knife. Alright. This sequence, mainly depends on how Helena do QTE time.
So sorry, Deborah.
So you can literally stand here and not give a flying fuck.
Helena, get away from her!
Oh no. As I hold my knife in the weirdest manner.
Does she always get her QTEs?
Yes.
Okay, I would assume so. But...
Yeah. Like it does. It's not like life or death when I do it. It doesn't speed it up either if you shoot her.
Why do you equip the knife?
Because in that one cutscene he holds it like a handgun.
Oh, okay.
He also does the shotgun like a handgun. It's my favorite. It just looks really dumb.
So it's aesthetically pleasing in a dumb way.
You're damn right it is. Don't
Perfect.
you like?
Optimal strat, chat, right there.
If you want to save those seconds, you don't have to do it because you do slow down when you have to switch weapons for obvious reasons. But it's a good meme and I love it.
Hey, don't get the wrong idea. It'll make sense later.
Okay.
Okay, let's switch to the Magnum. Kill this dude because sometimes either Helena or Ada will sit there and shoot at him for an hour. Sometimes Ada will immediately headshot him and I just stare. I'm like, okay.
Deborah is German and means the drill. Yeah, that makes sense.
It
Yeah,
makes me
I'm
think
fine.
of Dragon Ball, to be honest, but we'll go. We'll roll. Alright. Okay. Also, with that sequence with the box, you have to press A, or AI Helena will never do it. If you're, again, in co-op, your co-op partner can just do it when you're jumping off of something, then it really won't matter.
Watch out for yourself.
This section, you have to damage Deborah enough to drop down first. Oh, whoops. Yeah, you have to damage her at her invincibility frames, and you'll activate her actual boss fight. Alright, hentai. Don't you love hentai?
I mean, it's okay.
Some of the animation is questionable. Okay, she's doing this one. Shoots. Yeah, sometimes she'll drop down, sometimes she won't. Alright, you're gonna do this. Yeah, this boss is literal RNG
classy
hell.
hentai?
Okay, hentai be classy?
Absolutely.
What fucking hentai you watching? I've watched some shit then.
Classy hentai.
What do you think is a classy hentai then?
I don't know the names.
Okay.
But as we've seen in our Resident Evil relay races here on RESpeedruns, Team Hentai
It's better.
has won over Team Freedom more
What?
often than not.
Alright.
Watch out, you two.
Yeah, I want to try something.
Watch
Yeah,
out
the
for
thing
yourself.
is, well, if you're... Oh, wow. Oh, it starts... This checkpoint starts here, my bad. I thought I started after this, but I was going to show you what I was referring to with the other thing. Because normally the fastest way is to shoot her bulb, let her drop down, and then try to shoot the third one, which I am god-awful at, and I apologize. But shoot her like this, and stun her. Whenever she'll stop jumping. And this is what I mean, this boss is RNG hell. She doesn't give a flying fuck.
She gives a jumping fuck.
Yeah, she'll just jump. Sometimes she'll just continuously jump. You do that. This one's easier to do, more consistent. And the last bulb will always be this side. Do it that way. You can do it that way, or you can try to do it like I was doing the first one. I should just let that continue, but I didn't think.
Watch out, you two.
Also, my IGT is going to be absolute garbage, because, like I said, resetting does increase IGT. So, my IGT is going to be absolutely beautiful this run. I'm coming for you, bitch. There's also a QTE you can do to stun her, if she jumps on you in the middle. It is interesting to do. It's better to do it on higher difficulties, in my opinion. Let's see if I can do the third one, or the first one better, honestly. Maybe I could be less shit, everyone. Truly a remarkable thing in this world.
Overrated.
Oh, I stunned her. That's fine. We'll continue. But yeah. I usually use the shotgun because the spread is easier to register the hits on the bulb, but so that third one I've always been really bad at shooting. But it is faster to do it this way. But once you destroy all 3 of her bulbs, they'll move on to the next portion. Alright. Okay. In a new game, one thing, you want those vases, right? Don't grab them just yet. Go to this point right here for them to jump on. They will not jump on until you get to that point, and you can run back and grab the vases. Because you're basically waiting on the little elevator thing to get to the bottom anyway. So, while you wait for that, you can grab other boxes for new game.
For points.
Oh, or ammo. Ammo's always nice.
And who needs ammo when you have the label?
She sure is useful.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather take the other one next to her, I'm glad.
You mean the Ada?
I mean, it's obvious that Leon has a patron fetish.
Leon has a white knight complex. We know this.
No shit. The same with every other character in the entire series. That's not wrong, and you know it.
But Leon's is the worst.
I don't know. Chris got some issues with that, to be fair. I think Chris and Leon got
Not
some
anymore.
problems.
Now that he gained weight again, he looks like a refrigerator box.
Now he just murdered someone's fucking wife in front of them. Let me blow this bitch real quick. Also, before the elevator drops down, do switch to the breakout one, and just it makes this little thing faster whenever it lets me turn the wheel of justice. I will say, in versus who's much of an alcoholic, Leon wins by default. Because that man will shriek until the fucking sun comes up.
Damn, that was really quick. That thing was zooming.
Yep, it's better to have breakout because it makes those sequences easier. Also, like 4 and 5, this game got DA, so I take hits intentionally. It's still not as prominent as 4 or already 2 and 3 remake, but it's there. It's again more noticeable in full cutscene runs, or full game runs, excuse me. If you do ILs, you really won't notice it. But you will notice if you do like a lot of campaign runs, and then you do the ILs, for, like especially for like chapter 4 and 5, and you'll notice like sometimes the bosses and enemies die quicker, like much quicker. So yeah, this is just a waiting game. What do you think about Deborah as a whole, though? I thought she was really
I mean, she
fucking
was a
random.
cool boss. And, like, the family ties to Helena the entire time made it, like, stick more, I guess. But, like, in terms
gets
of,
thrown
like,
off
the
really
grand
quick.
scheme of things, like, she's obviously angry. Helena is for, like, the rest of the game. But I feel like even near the end, she's not angry enough.
She's like a bitch in the first 2 chapters, and then after you get rid of the shit with Deborah, it basically amounts to nothing, and she just kind of turns to being just there. Like, she loses kind of all personality, and it's like, by the way, did you know the main character's fucking Leon? Did you know the entire game is Leon? And I'm like, okay. What about the other 3? No, Leon. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I just feel like she should have been even more upset at Simmons.
Yeah, she doesn't. It
Then
doesn't seem like she's as. I expect her to be more angry, because the thing is with Simmons as well. Later on, I know the reason RE6 comes up because Simmons is basically a really creepy ass motherfucker who cannot get the woman right next to me. And he's like, by the way, I realize she likes you, Leon. Fuck you. And Simmons aggressively goes after Leon despite barely really having any interactions with him. I assume he had more because he's part of the government and shit. He's basically security. But even then, I'm kind of looking at it going like, this is really weird. Wouldn't you be like, fuck you, Helena, more than Leon to a degree? I don't know. It's really random. Alright. By the way, shoot her. Shoot out of her body. You can shoot the bulb if you want. But it's quicker to shoot the body. Because, easier to aim at than the bulb. And if you're Helena, you basically shoot fucking instantly. And,
Yeah, that's true. Bad dance too.
And another thing, you don't have to pick up Ada. You can just shoot her, and it's fine. It's only a flesh wound.
That's true, Bad Dance. Like, if they would have introduced Helena, like, earlier, in the franchise at some point.
Like
or,
in a
as
rev game,
connector
kind of,
somewhere.
like some type of side game, I feel like I would care
Yeah.
more. I
I
agree.
think Deborah and Helena would have stuck more.
Yeah. Also, for Chapter 3, stick with this setup, because you're going to need Breakout a lot. You will not really need damage, because you're going to be meeting Derptune. And Derptune is a Derptune, and he's a shitty boss.
Chapter 3 is also the best chapter in the entire campaign.
Tastes like lies, motherfucker. Alright, come here. Come here, Helena.
So we are now underground on our walk to China.
No,
Through
we're
the center of the
we're basically in the catacombs trying to get out of it. You don't go to China till after this.
I don't
you
know.
basically
I was
basically
always
get
under the firm belief that you go underneath the church and then you walk all the
so
way.
it's like that fucking that old ass fucking tale where you basically dig like halfway through the earth to go to China. God damn, bless that. By the way, I want to show you a stumble cancel. I'll show you without this cancel. There's this. And you stop and trigger this. But it might. I think the checkpoint starts a little bit after this. Yeah, right here. But if you slide here, like slide before you hit this right here, it'll you won't stop and you'll keep going. Like you'll still be able to keep going and run. So you keep going. I always like to play a little bit safe on those because sometimes the game will literally let you get up into the spikes at the very tippy top.
And they're a one-hit KO.
Oh yeah, it's the decapitation. There's two ways to do this section. Move, bitch. Okay. Normally what I like to do, I don't know if you can see it, there's a pillar right here. Aim for the pillar. Because normally you have to throw Helena up here, blah blah blah. She kills dipshit doing the flamethrower of justice. You can either aim for this pillar, try to ricochet to kill the dude over there, or you can throw over this like rock and try to hit him that way. The pillar ricochets up. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Oh, good Lord, Helena. She did it again! What is she doing?
I love it. I fucking love it. You don't insta-die by this, you just take some damage.
So basically the strat is aim at the pillar and Helena will like derp herself out of existence.
Yeah. But yeah, throw it at the pillar, it'll ricochet and kill him. I want to try doing the over the rock strategy. I used to do it, but I haven't done it in years because the pillar is more consistent and faster to aim, in my opinion. But I'll try, see if I can trigger. But you can do it like, it's like around, I think, here. I could be horribly misfiring, yeah. There is a restart there, if you want to keep like practicing this, thankfully. But yeah, it's a lot trickier to aim it with the rock. I would recommend doing the pillar mainly for this.
Always go pillar, chat.
Don't do pillars. Alright. Also, in co-op, it's better for Helena to do this sequence because the dialogue for her is a little bit faster at this point.
Simmons family tree?
Kit and Kin. Okay.
Yeah, I love how this puzzle is here. And Ada's like, by the way, here's a ring. He just gives it to Leon randomly. I'm sitting there staring, going like, what? When I first played this fucking game.
Convenient.
Yeah. Also, Leon has to do the ring. Helena can't do it. So you have to wait for either AI Leon to do it or whoever's co-op, you have to do it. Because Helena will just sit there and stare at the wall. She can't do shit.
Helena, best Helena.
She sure is. She's a good Helena. The mullet will protect us, God. And this is time for waiting for time, because this basically right here is that's a timer. When the clock ticks 12, you lose all your beautifulness, Cinderella.
Damn, rip.
I know I'm not beautiful enough. Well, fuck, man.
Yeah,
Team
Leon's gonna crash the pumpkin too.
Oh no, Team L'Oreal. Whatever will we do?
Speak for yourself. I'm on Team Herbal Essences.
I remember a friend that was trying to do some of those. He was allergic to fucking mushrooms. And, that didn't go well. Put it that way.
Wait, there's mushrooms and herbal essences shampoo?
Depends if it's homemade, because I had a friend that made like homemade shampoos and shit. And for some reason it had like some of those mushrooms in it. I don't remember exactly what was all in there, but it's like it had mushrooms, so he didn't tell him. I'm like, I bet that went well. Alright. There is a set number.
When your hair starts smelling like a salad bar, you've done something wrong.
But I love salad.
Same, but not
imagine
in my
a goat.
hair.
Imagine a goat trying to fucking eat your hair. It smells like lettuce today.
Damn goats.
Dude, when I had my cat, whenever I got out of the fucking shower, my cat's like, your hair smells amazing. Let's bite the shit out of it today. And I'm like, okay.
Ooh, are we cutscene skipping?
I want to attempt to do it. And I say attempt. If I don't do it, then whatever. Shit, I did it too late. Yeah, you have to do it right when this clicks and it skips that cutscene of showing you that it hit midnight. It is very precise and honestly kind of hard to do. And I found that out randomly one day when doing it in co-op with Zach for the hell of it. It's a lot of stuff I randomly do and just see if it works. Also, when you get into the water, right before you're like you stop having the ability to run, slide forward and then do the backward slide, and you gain more distance. And you also don't get the stun of showing you the shark, and you keep on moving.
This way.
Nice.
Shark, keep it. Keep calling for Lena, because sometimes she does whatever she desires today on this fucking glorious, watery hell. By the way, keep in mind, this game's in the US in July. You think Leon's like, I don't know, dying of a fucking heat stroke.
Moving.
Nah, that water is probably chilly as heck.
No, I'm talking about earlier, like, when he was in, like, the college campus, Ivy College and shit. Like, that bitch might have been burning. By the way, it's good to tell Helene to move in, because you basically are waiting on her at this point to fucking go to the other side. Also, interesting random tidbit. The college that you're there, like, the beginning college is called Ivy College, and, Phoenix Wright went to, where he went to get his, like, law degree was at Ivy. Like, Ivy University.
So one of those zombies was probably Phoenix, right?
I hope one of them points at me, just screams objection.
Except you wouldn't be able to understand, so I'd be like, there you go.
It's always the ones that randomly point at you like, you're a fucking bitch right over there. Yes, you're a bitch. Imagine one of them had like the Phoenix Wright fucking hair.
Keep turning, it's working.
Yeah, we're actually played a lot of the Phoenix Wright games.
They're good games. They have a bunch of weird shit going on in them, but what's new in Capcom's world? I want to see the day when something normal happens in a Capcom game. Wouldn't that be a fucking miracle?
Senator Armstrong played football at the University of Texas.
Oh god.
Fine. I'm way over here now.
I always throw a grenade over there to kill the enemies, or as best I can kill the enemies.
Try to help her out a little bit.
Yeah, because she'll sit there. Oh, my aim is shit-tastic right there. Yeah, basically, good to try to kill the enemies. So, you can move the fuck on. Also, I don't know why, on PC version, this sequence, for some reason, right here, will fucking almost complete immediately in this cutscene. It's so weird. Alright, plant a remote bomb. You're gonna be needing it for, the crank zombie. Alright, you can either aim at the zombie, but there's another thing you can do is throw a fire grenade over there and keep running towards the spikes. If you fuck up with the fire grenade throw, you die, because those spikes are insta-kill.
Well, what the hell else are we gonna do?
And is the reason why you can't throw the grenade is like your arm goes too high, so your hitbox hits them, or?
Sometimes I overthrow it personally. And also in co-op, one of the things you can do in co-op in this section is have the Helena aim where the crank zombie's going to be and continuously throw them. Like fire grenades, and it'll kill him automatically. If you kill him before, like right when he gets out, like on the frame he gets out, it'll spawn the crank in the middle of the fucking like spinning trap thing. It's so weird. It's so hard to do though, but it can happen. Alright, basically do that. By the way, the only reason why it goes through my body is because I play left-handed. By the way, left-handed slower. I just do it out of preference.
Welcome back, stranger.
It mainly matters in Leon's Chapter 4 and a few other sequences. In Leon's Chapter 4, I will be playing right-handed, and it will automatically set me to right-handed because of the ending of Chapter 3. Gotta love it.
Where you go out on the other side into China.
Yep, we are on a motherfucking plane, which Leon will
Welcome to the center of the earth.
pilot and crash again.
Oh, Leon.
Why don't you talk about he's a good driver? I recommend
Oh,
him.
Leon.
I recommend him to be a taxi driver.
Oh, God. Maybe in New York. Because no one can drive there anyway. That's why they all walk. Oh, actually, you know what I heard?
What?
Where people are actually worse drivers. And it's like worse people in general. It's very strange. Wyoming.
I won't rest until he's
But there's no one in Wyoming. There's only cornfields.
Exactly. I mean, you're automatically a horrible driver if there are no drivers.
Imagine
So,
a giant piece of corn driving. That'd be great.
a giant piece of corn.
Yeah, just driving.
We'll call him the Colonel.
Yes, exactly.
Got to distinguish his military rank while he's driving down the road in Wyoming.
Just he'll find a way. Just cover himself in butter. Also, FYI, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no! What were
I was
you
gonna say this sequence in solo, just keep running up until you get to this checkpoint. Once you get to this checkpoint, restart and bring Helena closer to you.
This way.
Go ahead.
Oh, what I was gonna say on the part that's actually coming up here pretty soon, where you have to like, is it Helena? That's
Yeah,
I can't
yeet
remember
her
who's doing
over.
it. The climbing part,
Yeah.
which is a pain. For sure. And the last like running thing, is there like any specific ways to do that, or you're just kind of like hoping that she's not a moron?
Basically,
This way.
you need to kill all the zombies in the climbing section. That's fucking obvious as hell. But if you want, after it does like when she randomly jitters back down, you can throw a fire grenade, kill them all at once. And before she finishes climbing up, you kill the majority of zombies before they like she can get up, like the bigger ones. If you wanted to do it that way.
Okay.
There's that. I've been I usually aim because sometimes in co-op it'll randomly stun my partner, so I tend to aim now. But yeah, normally I would recommend throwing a fire grenade and just moving on to this. I killed the Shrieker for sure. Killed the fat fuck. Definitely killed the fat fuck.
Oh no, thick boy.
The thick old boy. Yeah, sadly sometimes Helena will still be a fucking moron, but yeah, sometimes you gotta hope she's not a moron, but try to kill whatever. Like, at least kill everything in her way as best you
Eagle
can.
says the logic is sound. You're automatically the worst driver if you're the only driver.
It's not wrong. But aren't we all the best driver? I like how in the final, like, you'll see in chapter 5, if you want to know something interesting, or know something interesting, in the final chapter with the helicopter, you see Helena start driving the helicopter and not Leon. Like, that bitch is like, like, Helena's like, no, I seen you drive, don't you
Yeah,
dare
she's
touch
like,
it.
we're done with this shit. You have a bad
No,
time.
I want to live today, thank you very much.
I want to live.
I ain't dying now.
Yeah.
I killed Simmons. I avenged my sister. I'm fucking living today.
I mean, Helena flies off in the helicopter because she's like, Leon, I don't need you to kill me. Capcom will kill me off anyway and never let me be in another game.
Oh, like Billy. And
Yep.
Sheva.
Or Sheva, yeah.
Oh.
Or Piers, but Piers.
I would say Pierce technically died. He's also technically in a manga.
Uh,
Yeah, that presets RE6. Also, there's a certain line you can take to trigger to where she will not drop. It's super hard. With Leon, you can't run in this platform. You basically have to hug the corner and hope to basically hug the corner and walk, like the upper, like the right edge of it. Just hug it so you can run. You can, it's the same way with Helena. You have to do the upper, like the upper right corner. Just keep hugging it.
oh yeah, Jake is gone forever too.
I actually like Jake. He was interesting. To be fair, though, they brought back Sherry randomly, so who knows anymore? That was super random. I never expected to see Sherry again after 2, personally.
I don't think anyone wanted to see Sherry again after
I
two.
don't know. To be fair, a lot of people really, really love RE6 Sherry.
Oh, RE6 Sherry's fine. I just mean like, I'm not quite sure how many people were like, you know what we need?
Sherry.
We need Sherry from RE2 back.
I
And
think
it's
a
like,
lot of people
what?
were very interested in what will happen. By the way, this section is a bit RNG with the AI. It's also RNG in co-op, because sometimes the stumble and the enemy grabs can fuck you up. I ended up getting some bad RNG because Helena got fucked there. And I thought she was going to die. The AI can actually die here very easily if shit goes wrong.
See, but Jake was in 6 and we're only up to 8 now.
What about, wait, what happened?
True.
What about 8?
Said, but Jake was in 6 and we're only up to 8. So really, Jake's only missed 2 games.
Let's be honest, how many has
So
Jill
is
missed?
Elena. What?
Actually, technically more, because Rev 2 came after 6. Or like more than that, because there's Rev 2. So 3?
Okay, so 3. Yeah.
It would surprise me they eventually do throw him back into it.
I highly doubt they'll throw him back in an 8.
No, I doubt he's gonna be an 8. I feel like him, Sherry, and Helena are more, like, it's more likely for them being in a side game, like Revelations or some other fucking side series, personally.
Ah, Umbrella Corps.
Umbrella Corps was a meme. Actually, for what the game was, it was okay-ish. As a Resident Evil game, no. Just no.
Are we going for the one breath
Yes.
strat here, Phyllis? Cool.
Yeah. One breast strat. It's easier to do in co-op for obvious reasons. That's a no-brainer. But in one breath, you basically don't go up to go get any arrow, which is an obvious one. But you can only be grabbed once, and it's the only time you get grabbed is the one that you have to get grabbed. Like, there's no way to skip in the sequence. Like, that's the one you have to take the grab. But if you get grabbed again, you're dying.
Exactly, Deagle. The one breast strat.
One breast. Makes me think of that fucking, there was an Xbox player from fucking years ago I remember seeing. His fucking name was a girl breast.
Well, there you go.
Alright. And for that next sequence of those zombies, if you take the lower path, you'll get grabbed by them and they'll rip you. So go up to the higher section. In this next section, go underneath, so you don't get grabbed, and then you go to the side.
Cool.
And now we wait, because sometimes Helena's AI is god tier, put it that way. There we go.
Nicely done. That wasn't, I mean, it makes it look dangerous because the flashing red and like it's closer than it is, but that wasn't that close in terms of like.
Yeah, I know Yoshi struggles with it, but it's not that bad. And one thing I've come to notice, that if you slightly rub against the fucking thing and don't, again, trigger it immediately, she goes to the thing faster. Because sometimes she'll kind of sit there, like in the race, she'll kind of sit there and stare at it for a bit. But yeah, if you fucking just kind of rub against it for a split second, then activate it, similar to the very first door in the game, she'll go straight to it. It's really weird.
One of the other things I noticed is when you were swimming upwards right before the required grab, there was another zombie there, and you kind of stopped doing the swim quickly and just kind of swam.
Yeah,
slowly.
there's certain sections where they'll just push you out of the, like, they'll push zombies out of the way. But if you go in another area, sometimes you'll get grabbed, and it's really weird. Especially these later section. But in solo, it really doesn't matter as much, because you still have to wait for the AI. And in co-op, a lot of the areas that you do that weird push away thing, your partner will also do it. So it really doesn't waste any time.
Gotcha.
And it's QTE Central, they're all the same. At least in Amateur. Amateur does simplify the QTEs, and then later ones will make them a little bit harder. Not much harder, but it's there.
I also apologize for anyone that can hear the television in my background. My parents watch TV at like 5,000% Michael Bay volume.
I love Michael Bay volume. I hope they watch a metal concert one day.
I'll find a place to climb up.
We'll figure out if they're watching anything with explosions yet.
Just have fucking explosions or like metal music, and you're sitting there going like, please turn it down. I'm deaf.
Baby derp tune
Derp tune is so weird. In solo, you have to trigger that little mini cutscene to have Helena actually aim to help you. In co-op, it's better to not trigger it, let your partner raise it up a little bit, then go through.
Also, Jim said the single player content for Umbrella Corps is getting boring real quick. Yeah, but the single player content is the only content, obviously, but is the only content that's canon to the RE universe. Which,
Thanks.
I find it really fucking weird that they've actually said some stuff is canon from Umbrella Corps and came back and said it wasn't. So I'm like, what?
no, but they have come, like, the final decision that, like, they made according
Yeah,
to their,
they
like,
they
official,
basically
like,
the single
timeline.
stuff is canon.
Yeah, they were like, the single player stuff is canon. And it's like,
And then
but
everyone
why?
forgets about it. And I will not be surprised if they forgot about it.
I mean, I would just wonder, like, the reasoning behind why that is the case. So,
I think they just get bored.
because, like,
I think
really
they
the
get
only,
bored on the
like,
weekends.
lore that it adds is you're basically undergoing the same training that Hunk did.
Yeah, that's all it is. There's nothing much to it.
Yeah.
Even then, it's the single player wave thing. Like some of the shit you do is okay, but it's not great. It's just you can get you. There's better games that do that. Play Killing Floor 2. That's my thing. Just play Killing Floor 2 if you want that kind of shit. It's better. For Derp Tune, at this sequence, wait for him to get a little closer to you, then shoot him, because it makes the next QTE sequence activate quicker. It does make the cutscene look beautiful. Don't you want to see the inside of Derp Tune? Yeah, if you did it immediately, he'll actually have to come forward a bit to before the QTE will activate it slower.
Aim for the dynamite!
Yep. I always start aiming the AK a little earlier upwards, because you can shoot that faster.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was like, where the hell is she aiming? And then I was like, oh yeah, the barrel comes from overhead.
Yep. Little barrel.
Oh, there you go. Alright, 2 more chapters to go.
Yep, let me switch back. Make sure you switch back to the power. Sometimes I also forget to switch, especially the race. I know I forgot to switch sometimes because I was dying about cornfields. God, that race was super random. Okay, here's Titty Monster. Isn't he cute? He's dead.
He's the best!
He's dead now. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
And also, you have to kill him. It doesn't matter if you move closer to where you need to go, like here. Like, you get closer to that thing. It doesn't matter. The game will always reset you back to where you were, like at the beginning. So you can't be like, oh, let me move closer. No, it doesn't matter. And this is where the stumble sequence comes in. Oh shit, I did a little early. But if you roll, or slide if you can do it, certain sections, you skip some of the stumble animations. In solo, again, isn't that big of a deal. In co-op, it definitely matters a lot more. Stand right here, so Helena doesn't get stuck on those 2 dipshits. Now come over here. And right when you get to this door, switch to breakout, and turn this bad boy. Makes this sequence quicker, and this previous sequence. If you don't stand there with the fucking dipshits blocking the hallway, she'll continuously run into them, and you have to wait for the next stumble to register before she'll actually get down there. So it's faster to wait there for a second, call her over, and when she's in the line of path, just move. Gotta love babysitting AI, man. Nothing beats Natalia, though. Natalia's little dum-dum juice. Alright, this sequence, basically open this box, pull this fucking lever, and move on. That box, depending on difficulty, will be harder to open. With Breakout, it does make it easier to open the box.
Yo, so they basically gave the box more health and higher difficulties. That's crazy.
Yeah, the QTEs are actually hard to hit, yep. And you basically have to hope for either, if you're doing it normally, and you don't know what to do, that it makes that section quite difficult because you're constantly losing health in that little, the smog. So that's fun. There is a first aid spray waiting for you in the distance. Blessed.
I also love that as they're climbing up that ramp, it's pretty obvious that they're not gripping anything.
Oh no, they're
because
not. It looks fantastic.
Their hands continue to slide backwards, so they're just slapping this metal door and slowly climbing up.
You damn right there. I throw a fire grenade to that group and then shoot this zombie. Mainly for that previous group, you want Helene to be able to get through easier, and I shoot that one zombie before the stumble, because sometimes with the stumble, he'll drop right in the way where you need to go, and you have to either kill him or move him out of the way. Alright.
That was a good fire grenade on the group though. That was really cool looking.
Thank you. In this section, you just need to move forward past certain points to trigger this next sequence of events. You don't have to like go to the side. You just move forward to trigger it. And this sequence right here, I've not been able to find a way to skip it yet. If you are in co-op, one person triggers it, and they're slightly behind you enough, they won't get the stumble as well, and they can keep moving forward and trigger this sequence quicker. I try to kill these two motherfuckers. This is sadly a bit RNG in solo, because sometimes Helena will not protect you.
Oh
Co-op,
Helena,
it's...
please.
I wish I could say I'm surprised. So if I die here, I can't do anything about it, basically. Sometimes the AI will literally not fucking do anything. It sucks.
Also, considering that you opened a door in the cargo hold, and there's all this other crap going on with the plane, has no one noticed that the oxygen mask had not fallen from the ceiling, implying that there has not been a loss of cabin pressure this entire time of this flight?
You expect Capcom to do real life
Capcom
things?
obviously has never read the pamphlet in the back of the airplane seat on an airplane.
Capcom with
They
realism.
need to pay attention
amazing.
to their
small
flight
little
attendants.
details.
Mm-hmm.
As Leon crashes his plane, Helena was thankfully nice. It's usually that very last sequence where it'll fuck you up. I chose shooting wild. If you're not comfortable with shooting wild, you can use just regular Magnum mastering stuff. As you can tell, like with me aiming, I have the reticule even with the grenade. Just keep that in mind. You can also use shooting wild in like mercs and stuff. You want to practice with it. So there's that. Okay, that was a good transition. Sometimes Jake's AI is similar to Helena's, where he'll be extremely aggressive. Now this sequence right here, the first sequence you have to do enough damage to Ustok to him to jump over. The next sequence here, you have to wait for Leon and Sherry to drive through to trigger the next sequence. So, and once the bus goes through, you have to do a certain amount of damage to Usanok to trigger the final sequence. And in co-op, if your partner, the Helena, does enough damage before and during the bus, like right when the bus gets hit, when he goes up to the final little pillar area, you can basically kill him like immediately.
Oh, no. Also, no one minds that Twitch notification that just popped up in the upper right corner. I can't do anything about that. I have to turn those off, I guess.
Oh no.
Also, Neo says, Gaiden is canon, Leon's a tyrant. It's true. All of his power is in his hair, though.
It's the L'Oreal, damn it.
I can't wait because Leon's been in all the even games. So, in RE8, where Leon makes his surprise cameo, calling it now, chat. I don't know why he would be anywhere near what's going on in RE8, but he'll be there.
We fixed our fuck up. We added mercenaries again.
And, but he's going to be really weak because someone captured him and shaved his hair.
Sherry said she was meeting Simmons in the Kunlun building.
Yeah.
The first thing you're gonna need
That's
to
an
do is
interesting
capture his
image. I don't know how to feel about
And
it.
Solus is going to cry for hours because Leon has no beautiful locks.
Oh no, not the locks. Just defining characteristic.
I know
the typical
the
emo
market,
haircut.
By the way,
What?
the market, by the way, is like, I hated this part of the game.
I actually like the market. I like it more casually in speedrunning solo. The AI could be a bitch. There's also an RNG element too. Because the first key you pick up, you don't want another one of these to spawn. Because one, it plays a cutscene. Hooray. Two, once it plays that cutscene, you got two of them on the field, which makes it more difficult for the AI to actually follow you and not try to sit there and shoot for an hour and or cock block you or the AI. Because sometimes they'll like throw their hands or whatever and it'll fuck you or the AI up, making shit harder to do. In co-op, it is better for the last key to spawn him. Because the thing is, whoever picks up the key, the cutscene will be playing for you, but it won't be playing for your partner. So your partner can run back to the door, place the keys, and by the time you're done with the cutscene, you just fucking run back. And, basically go through the door.
I just always got lost here. Always. It never failed.
Yeah, basically a lot of people will go forward as well. It's faster to go backwards. Yeah, it's better to go the opposite way, because it leads for a more surefire path. Jump down.
Backwards, you mean picking up the normal
Yeah,
third
pick up that back
third.
key. A lot of people will usually go forward and do it.
You have to open it with the bolts on either side.
Alright, I like to do this to make the AI fucking not be a dumbass.
I'll open it. Come on.
I hope dipshit don't come touch me. I don't know their actual names. I always call them regenerators, personally.
They're very close, yeah.
There's like, they have a unit, they do have their own name. I don't know how to pronounce any of the monster names in this fucking game. I literally have no fucking clue. Yep, that's another reason, because sometimes the hands will do that. The market has a lot of RNG to it. A fuck ton of RNG. Alright, let me just do this. Come on. And that's why I hate when there's two of them. I really hate when there's two of them. It makes it a lot.
The hands, dude. They're very
Oh,
handsy.
the hands are annoying. I hate the hands the most.
Oh, there you go. Bless you, Deagle.
No need to say it twice.
I also kind of fucked up my movement there, to be fair, like at one point, so I did make it, well, like a possibility of me getting grabbed, but even then there's points where I do everything fine and the game doesn't give a shit. Yeah, this is where the other cutscene can trigger is right here, and like I said, it's usually better for it to trigger there, personally. A lot easier to manage. Less bullshit.
This way.
Oh, you're like right here. Alright, come here.
The Rosclapange.
Ah, is that how you pronounce it?
I'm gonna say yes.
I don't...
I feel like I'm an expert at their language.
I bet you are, honey. I bet
Yeah,
you... Yep. Sure are. Yeah, like each of the Duavo and like Duavo forms also has their own name, and they're all like from the...
I believe it's
country.
Huevo. No.
No, it's not Duavo, please. It's Duavo.
Huevo, please.
Let's hurry.
And the Rosclapange. You
Sounds
don't
like
want to smoke too much of that Rosclapange,
It
Dad,
sounds
let
like
me
you're
tell
trying to be
Ooh, boy.
French. You're like, you know what sounds intelligent and sexy? French. And you're like, let's make it sound French as fuck. And I'm like, okay.
Le Rosclapange.
Okay. This section, the race section.
Roombas! Everyone get out your maracas and get ready to do the dance of the fighting Roomba. It's even worse than it's like the Tango de la Muerte, but like the Tango de la Roomba.
God damn it. Okay. As you can probably guess, it's faster for you to win. Okay, what the fuck? I don't know, I kept sliding and I'm like, what the fuck?
This is a really good way to, the optimal strat to win, chat, is run into the second grid
No,
of lasers.
don't do that. Obviously, I don't know why it kept, sometimes it's really weird. I don't know what triggers this, but sometimes the game...
I know what happened. I know why.
Sometimes the game will still let you continue your slide momentum when it's supposed to slow you down, and I don't know what triggers it, and I wish I knew, because there are sections where that would be useful.
I know what triggers it. 100%. Do you want to know?
What? Tell me then. You're so intelligent and
This is what happens when you smoke too much Rosclapange in the marketplace.
But yeah. Basically, for that race, slide in the upper right corner. Don't run into the fucking field like I did there in that beautiful scene. And destroy those, the lights, and go through before Kristen Pierce, and you'll win the fucking internet. And when you get up the elevator, restart, because it'll bring the AI closer to the next section. Not your AI, the other AI, because you got Kristen Pierce next to you. Because they expect players to be playing with you if you play online. But yeah, they're over there. You'll see them through the little things. Because in order to go to
Spread
the
it.
Roomba section, you both of you guys need to do this door sequence right here.
The Tango della Rumba.
All right, let's
I'll be right back.
go for it.
Testing for prototypes.
All right. Now this section right here is a bit dependent on my brain died. On FPS. On Xbox One and PS4, this is a lot easier to do and manage to win. And PC is a little bit harder to do because Helena will struggle to go to the thing sometimes, and if you get hit once, generally it means game over, and they're going to take over. It is, again, like I said, faster. It is faster for you to win this, but it's kind of hard on PC. If you end up failing, it isn't the end of the world. If you're just doing a run. And that's the part that will kind of fuck you over, is the is that part where they play the cutscene. Because, like I said, things are still moving in this game. So sometimes you have no like chance to help Helena, and she'll get hit by the Roomba. Like, and you have like no way to actually cover her, and it's really bad. This section's literal garbage. God damn it.
So while Max is gone, I'm gonna chime in and ask you a question.
No.
So
that's
you're
like,
saying on PC, basically, she gets hit once and
yeah, basically
you're
rip.
losing it. But on console, you can take a couple.
Yeah, you could take like 4 or 5 generally if you do it well enough. Yep. Yeah, FPS affects that immensely. You gotta love it.
Does this run at 60 or?
I'm running it at
120
basically
uncapped?
120.
120. Okay.
Yeah.
So
120
if
is
you
the max.
capped it to, I assume PS is
60.
30? Oh,
The
60.
PS4 is 60.
So if you were to cap this to 60,
It makes it easier. Yep.
it would.
But the thing is, actually, you don't have to reset it. Like RE5, you generally have to reset it. Thankfully, you don't with this. But yeah, you have to go, like, on your phone, reset it, and that little option, because you can reset it in-game. You don't have to, like, exit out to do it. You go on the phone and reset it if you're more comfortable at doing it at 60 FPS. But it is kind of really weird, probably to try and set it up to where you can reset it back to 120.
Leon, Helena, come in. If Sherry's intel is on the money, Simmons
Because
should be just up ahead.
5 and 6 are really weird, where certain sections, it doesn't matter if you run at 60 or 120. But there are quite a few sections in RE6 that run better and are actually better at 120 FPS than 60 and are faster. For example, Ada's Chapter 3, where you see Leon crash the plane on the train that she's on. On PC 120, the plane crashes in like less than 3 seconds. Never speaks any dialogue and moves on. 60, you will have to watch the entire cutscene and waste about 30 plus seconds.
Ow.
Yeah. Also, Jake and Sherry's AI for the later section as well, has, like, on PC is more likely to actually not crash. And you just, that's also saves some time as well.
This way! We're coming for you,
But it's
Simmons.
really, even then, it's really rare on PC.
Pay for everything you've done.
Alright, this next section, just run it to this point.
Helena!
Throw Helena over. Trigger next section with dipshit. With Doggo Simmons over here. Okay.
It's a giraffe.
And, if you shoot him before he stomps, it'll cancel out, of course, the stun, and it'll, whenever he actually changes form, you can go to the next sequence. It's just faster overall. It's a really weird shot to hit, though. It's, again, it's honestly better to hit it when you're right-handed, but I'm so used to doing it left-handed that I, absolutely suck at doing it right-handed.
Gotta love muscle memory.
Yeah, it's my favorite. Lay on the ground to avoid this stumble here. Excellent! I took half a bar of damage. Wait for him to jump up. Climb up this fucking area, and then run him down like a bitch. Press 1 to fuck up. If you try to do it to where, like you stay on the bottom, it makes it really hard to do it. It also makes it a lot more, tight quarter. Like, tight quarters make it really, really hard to avoid shit. It's better to do it up at top, and it's also faster, because, if you don't chase him down from the top, he'll jump back down, and you have to follow him back down, or wait for him to come down if you decide to stay down. And, it takes forever. It takes a while. But if you end up shooting him after he does that one sequence where he destroys that area, and just shoot him, he'll trigger the beating up section a lot quicker, and you just have to do like 1 or 2 more bullets, and you can move on to this weird train sequence here. Basically, always go up. Go up. It's better, it's faster, it's more convenient, honestly. So I used to do it from the bottom, until I was like, let's do it from the top, and I realized it's a lot faster, and you can usually skip some, like, an extra part of it, in general. There's also a risk of being insta-killed down there, too, just FYI, so you are playing a risky game. You can be insta-killed very easily in that section, if you're, at the bottom.
Alright, we fighting Giraffe Simmons yet?
Doggo Simmons, we are. And I'm gonna see if I can land the shot. There's a shot if you do it right before the cutscene hits, and I think I missed it. If you do a shot for cutscene triggers, sometimes it'll trigger him to stumble backwards, and it'll trigger the busting through the wall a lot quicker. If you don't get it, just go back here. It's less travel time. But if you do that one where you shoot him before that cutscene activates of him showing you to shoot, he'll actually buzz down this wall right when he's talking about Helena's, like, killing Helena. So it does save some time if you do it.
Poor Giraffe Simmons. Misunderstood.
His transformation is probably the most grueling to look at, because that bitch looks like he's in fucking pain.
I mean, yeah, his entire body got ripped apart.
It's like you see his fucking bones and shit, and I'm like, ew. He also fires his own fucking bones. That shit's nasty. Alright, this section, you can use AK, rifle, or handgun. Oh god, what is my fucking controller doing? That was spicy. I think it's also, I nicked my table a bit. But, yeah, shoot him before he runs into you. It's actually a really annoying shot to shoot. I try to aim at his feet. Like, his, feet area, so, because when you're on the train, of course, when you're aiming, you still die, like your cursor still kind of moves a bit. On the train, it moves a lot more frequently. So if you aim more at the bottom, it gives you more leeway to still hit him and trigger the final part of this.
Did we finish it?
Oh yeah. FYI, I should have probably mentioned this way earlier. Do not use the laser. The laser is super inaccurate in this game. Do not use it. It's that, and in Rev 2, the laser is not good. It's better to use, like, the little dots, the cursor dots, because it gives you more accurate, like, showing where you're aiming at.
I didn't even notice Deagle was in here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Until, like, right now.
Well, I've been in here for a while. I just unmuted when you went away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd say he normally.
Say things.
I'll say he normally stays in here, the entire time. And he's sitting there like.
Were you in
breathing.
here to correct my pronunciation of the Serbian Rosklopanje?
I've been deafened in here, but I did hear you on stream.
That works too.
Close enough. I've heard it both ways.
I've heard it both ways for sure. How to pronounce Ross?
Also, before you start chapter 5, switch to the skill setting with grenade power up. It'll make your life easier, I swear.
I hope so.
I hope Google Translate just does the most butchered fucking thing. Did you mean this? And you're like, excuse me.
I think everyone heard it on the stream. I can't hear it because the way I had my audio set up, but I just played the pronunciation.
I didn't hear it.
I muted the stream to be here. Hold on. Play it again.
It might also be loud. Wesker Reborn just like posted a screaming dude. It was set at 11.
Screaming dude. No.
Wait,
No one cares, Reggie.
pronunciation.
You listen to the screaming bitch. Bitch ass.
But did you hear it though?
Nope.
That's the real question.
I didn't hear shit.
Oh, this is my favorite part because it's time to go shopping.
Don't you like to go shopping as the fog comes and kills you?
All I can see is
That's
a shitstorm.
It's okay.
And I don't think that's
By the
No,
way, it's good to
we're
do.
gonna grab like
it's-
2 of those shoes.
Yeah. Also, at the beginning, it's good to do slides before the smoke actually hits you, so you keep moving. At this section, go up to this dipshit right here. Go up to him. It'll start the trigger of the sequence of him busting up a little quicker. Helena, honey. Dumbass. Dumbass child.
Elena.
Helena, come here. Helena! Why won't you notice me, senpai? Well, I slide to that box because there's always a fire grenade there. And then we do that, and we'll stare at Helena. Sometimes she gets through immediately. Oh, wow, she did. I'm proud of you, honey. Sometimes she'll run into that one dead body right there for like 5 minutes, and I just stare at her and be like, okay. You do you, baby cakes.
Stop. Get some help.
good luck. This way.
Mothers.
All right. Hang on.
Also, does no one notice that he was holding those 2 doors shut? So as soon as he got bitten and everything, those doors should have flung open with zombies, including him.
It's okay.
Probably from the missile.
I don't like logic.
Yeah. I'm gonna send Capcom an audio file of Roscoe J at maximum 11 volume, and we'll see who thinks about logic. I wish there was like a phonetic spelling.
Yeah, the wiki didn't have one.
God damn, I think no one wants to even try pronouncing half the shit, because they look back and like, what the fuck is this?
How to pronounce Roscoe in Serbian? I believe I am. So
Maybe we'll hear it.
They're gonna surround us. We gotta go. I got it.
So how do you pronounce what the zombies are called? Or not the zombies, the ones that like Chris faces.
Those are the regular ones
Juavo?
with, yeah, Juavo. Then they're, each time they do a different form, like the grasshopper one's the one with the arms, the one with like the weird rock hard chest thing, whatever, the weird like chest plates. They all each have their own name, and I don't know any of them. I just call them Juavos. Because it surely doesn't matter.
oh, you mean like the ones that can fly versus the ones?
Yeah, the
that
one
are
that
like,
can
yeah.
fly, the one that gets like the grasshopper legs, the one that gets like the weird meaty arm thing, like 1 arm and 2 arm meaty things, like yeah, all that shit. Each one of them has their own name.
Oh, that's a good question by Jim. Do you know how long this car section is?
Never timed it,
Give or take?
honestly. I just kind of sit here. I've never honestly timed it.
Well, I think it is long enough for a quick bathroom break. Like if you're running this and you really needed a quick break, like to like
Probably
pee real
depending,
fast.
depending how close your bathroom is, yeah, that or get a drink. I've gotten a drink
Yeah.
there yet before.
Careful, all right?
Yeah, just go
So
get
the
a drink.
answer is long enough.
Basically. Because there's nothing you can do to speed that shit up. You just kind of sit there and stare into the distance.
Oh man. The weird skull thing, which is Chris and Pierce's last boss.
Oh, Haas?
Its name is House.
Yeah. Like, basically Chaos from Sonic Adventure.
Thought she was dead.
Yeah.
Because I looked at him, I was like, is that fucking Chaos? And I just looked at the name. I'm like, basically Chaos without the C. For more edge.
Oh shit.
I got a feeling things are about to get worse.
What
I
happened?
didn't even think about it. It actually is chaos without a C.
Deagle's sitting there like, I don't like that. I don't know how to feel about that.
I just looked at its pronunciation and I was like, oh, cool.
This fucking weird thing.
I mean, my job because my bladder is super bad. Or maybe a cigarette. It depends on how fast you can smoke the cigarette.
I was gonna say, unless you literally like huff the shit out of it, maybe.
Just do, Insane BB used to,
Get a
smoke
bong.
while running. Just put it in his mouth and...
You vape.
Go
So you're
for
like
it.
the one of those people that just sit there and do like a big fucking vape for like 5 minutes and I'm like, okay.
Oh, I can't stand it when people vape on the mic. It is so bad.
Some of them fucking.
Steven.
It's yeah, Steven does it all the time. It's awful, dude.
I'll always see if I can do this. There, if you throw that grenade in a certain area, it'll trigger the next sequence, which I didn't do. You basically have to kill all the enemies, including that one enemy around that corner. If you throw the grenade in a certain spot, in a certain time, it'll trigger him dying, and you can just move the fuck on. Because you basically have to kill everything in that area. Which is why I do grenade power-up along with that one previous hallway with like 50 fucking zombies, so Helena will be able to run through and not sit there and stare at an enemy for like 5 minutes and aim at it on a bitch. So how do y'all feel about Michael Bay?
My parents love him.
To be fair, Chris's campaign's more Michael Bay, to be completely honest.
There's a mute button. You're right.
really
That
is.
is. I use it a lot.
Do you do the push to talk thing? I hate push to talk, personally.
I'll do it
I
in certain situations.
I do if I'm streaming with someone else.
That I can understand, but if I'm playing, like, actually, like, speedrunning and playing, I'm like, push to talk be a little complicated for obvious reasons.
I literally always forget I have it.
And,
So I'm
and
trying
then
to
you try to
for like
talk,
10
and you're,
minutes. Like, why aren't they responding?
it's like, why won't they notice me, senpai?
Thank God Leon took control of this chopper.
I know, right?
Nothing bad could happen here.
Really not much, this is literally the prologue section. Also, in co-op, it's better to let Helena shake out of this grab, but of course in solo, you have to trigger it. And the QTE to where those little things are always different, so... If you see me miss them when they're right there in my face, I don't like to take the chance. If I miss it, it'll waste time. It's honestly faster just to miss, just let it keep rolling until it scrolls back.
Damn it, Liam.
I hope this man has his license revoked. Like, I really do.
Probably doesn't have one.
In Washington, like, you're the president, he's like, you better not fucking drive shit around me, Leon. You're gonna walk.
He went to take the license test and crashed during the test.
I wish I could find that one picture. There's a fucking picture where someone edited, like, Leon. It's like some dude, like, driving, crashes, like a bike, like, it was like driving a plane crashes, driving a car crashes, and then it's just editing, like, another dude where he's just riding the bike, and he also crashes that, and he just adds Leon's face throughout all of them. It's so good. It's great. So I feel like Leon would be that person to somehow destroy and crash a bike in an instant. So here's the Washington Monument Chinese edition. Why is the Washington Monument here? Could someone answer that? Is this actually a thing in China?
With the umbrella logo at the bottom? I doubt it. But
It's a little bit.
Um,
Alright, let me, before, the boss fight, just switch to either one with shooting wild. Actually, we'll do the shooting wild one. Either shoot to one with shooting wild or the, Magnum Mastery. If you lay on the floor, the stumble is less, but if you fire at a certain point, you'll skip the stumble entirely because you get frames for it when you fire on the ground with certain weapons, like the Magnum, the M3, the shotgun, or the AK. Or dual-wielding Leon. Because recoil in this game is super broken. Also, hate us in the roller helicopter up there. Let me touch it, honey. Ow. Now, I tried to be kind of in the middle or kind of close to him because his weak point is those beautiful gushy eyeball insides. Or if you want, you could shoot at his actual eyeball, but I wouldn't recommend that. Just shoot the inside of him. It's quicker and easier. Also, this section, you do have to shoot, because if you don't, he will kill you. So how does everyone feel about Jurassic Park Simmons?
he's okay.
I honestly found him hilarious. is. I know a lot of people hate him.
I like the
I
subtle
like-
nuance of like keeping the tiny arms.
I know,
Yeah.
right? He got the little T-Rex arms. I like the fact that even the concept art, like, let's have a T-Rex, and I'm like, what?
And a giant fly, and a giraffe, and a dog.
Well, they wanted to have a spider at one point. I don't know why they didn't do that, honestly.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been the one with where you're fighting Ada, like with Ada and shit. In the next section.
Oh, on the bridge?
Yeah, that would have been the spider one.
Beagle's talking about my cursor that appears on the screen every so often. Even if I have it like alt tabbed out, it still appears on the screen. His name is Cursor Senpai, and he likes to hang out. Okay, leave him alone.
Because they did a stupid update to OBS where it
Yeah.
now captures in this new way, and you can revert it, but it's a giant pain in the ass.
I'll say, is it worth it? 'Cause that's kind of how I feel. It's like, I can revert it, and I'm like, but is it worth the fucking hassle of it all? Sometimes it really isn't.
Depends on your monitor setup.
The closest we'll get to a Dino Crisis remake.
Probably. Hope y'all like this Dino Crisis. This is a good game.
Gushy insides.
The eyeballs stare at me. I guess
Oh,
this
it's gonna
man
need
is
some
like,
clear eyes. That shit's gonna dry out.
that's why he got that clear eye, man.
Yo, who's
So-
ready for some lightning memes?
Oh, baby.
Lightning beams? You mean that's the next
Yeah, like-
section?
It is the next section, but it's like the what you did last time.
I
where, like,
hope
your
I get
lightning
that
run-
weird stumble again. That was fucking weird.
I hope we get the giant.
That fucking
Thing.
giant lightning rod is so good. They don't have. Go
Fingers
ahead.
crossed that doesn't happen
Is
again.
that part with the when you're driving the truck during Dino? Well, you're not driving it, but when you're on the truck,
The
is
torch
that
section.
timed or
You
based off damage?
it is set. You can't speed it up, but you do have to shoot at him or you will die.
He's still alive.
So it's basically just keep him away so this
Basically.
auto-scroller can play out.
Yeah. Because if you fuck up even at the very end, you have to redo all of it. I know that's exciting to hear. I know shoot it up.
So is there some kind of optimal strat to climbing up this like elevator rope?
I just mashed both buttons. The PS4, Xbox One version, there's a options where you can just hold one button, and it's like literally the fastest fucking thing ever.
Oh, cool.
And I prefer it that way because you could fucking like instantly climb. It is so fast. But no, otherwise I just mashed both the buttons. That would be the climbing. Alright. Normally it's 8 or 9 times for this section. If you're playing the PS4 One version, you can
Come on, Leon. Catch up.
do it to where you run into her. Damn it, I fucked up. Actually, let me try that again. Yeah, there's on PC you either climb 8 to 9 times and you'll skip the sequence where you drop down and you won't lose like 10 meters. It should restart after.
Yeah, I was gonna
the
say you
stumble.
fall for quite a while.
Yeah, you do. It.
Leon. Catch up.
Yeah. I'm gonna try the 8 again, because last time I did 8, and it was during the race, it didn't register it, but when I do it offline, 8 seems to be the number. It's really weird. And I don't know why it's that weird consistency. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Come on, Leon.
2,
Catch up.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me try it. I still pressed it 9. I want to try it one more time, and if it doesn't work, we'll move on. But yeah, usually, if you're at least, I think, 1 meter behind Helena, usually, it seems to trigger to where she'll just drop into you and not do the dropping sequence. And then, like I said, a PS4 1, you just run into her and it triggers it, and you skip it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna try it, and like I said, if it doesn't work, yeah, like that. So it was 8 that time. That's super fucking weird. Because I did 8 last time and it did fucking work. Truly amazing. But yeah, PC version and PS3 and 360 version, you have to do it by like that count. And then on PS4 and 1, you can literally run into her right when the thing crashes, and you do that stutter for her, and you don't drop down. And it's just saves more time that way.
How would you coordinate that on like co-op?
In co-op, when you see the glass, when you see the glass shatter, you stop. Leon's whoever's Leon, keep going. But whenever that thing crashes, you gotta keep Helena needs to stop.
Okay.
Wow, this part.
Notice me, Senpai Daddy.
Oh my god. This solidified the White Knight status of Leon Kennedy right here.
I thought that was an RE2.
Oh, I mean, it was, but, like, this is just the nail in the coffin.
It's been in the entire series. And to be fair, like I said, a lot of the times, a lot of other characters usually have it. I find it fascinating, though, they do it a lot more with Leon than anything else.
Also, that man is dead.
Shouldn't sleep.
Yeah, a little bit dead. There we go. There's a weird glitch sometimes that happens where you can trigger this fight to end early, but it's super hard to do.
So is that part also basically just an auto scroller, or do you need to?
You do need to do a certain amount of damage output. I do like to go over here because after the talking sequence, you basically depend on Ada to trigger the next sequence, and sometimes if Ada's too far away, you have to wait for her to walk all the way over there. Alright, I'm gonna switch to Magnum Master real quick. Make sure you need to usually at least shoot him one more time to trigger this. Usually you have to do at least one section where you beat him up and then one where he sits there and laughs maniacally. Sometimes, and I say sometimes, you'll do it to where he just laughs maniacally and then it just triggers the sequence not long after. I've only gotten it to happen like once. And I don't know what triggers it, honestly. Yoshi has had it happen to him too. I don't know if it's just like you over threshold the damage or whatever. I'm more curious to mess with that one day and see if I can get it to be more consistent. Also, make sure you have ammo because you need ammo for this one part. Again, faster to be right-handed. I suck at right-handed. Just shoot him. I don't know. I guess he moves away from the fucking door at one point. Because he was rigid right next to the door here. Alright. Come on, Helena.
Now he's getting mounched.
Motherfucker. I feel like the chapter should have ended like right after the sequence with Ada. So I do not like this chapter because I feel like it drags on way too goddamn long, personally. Interesting fact for new game.
Well, I think it has to do with the fact that you basically have to do like 6 boss fights.
Yeah. Interesting fact. New game. There's usually Magnum ammo here, and if we go out this door, there's Magnum ammo to your right over here if you want to collect it. I usually collect the one that's behind us while I wait for Helena to come to us. I don't get the one on the right because it does waste time. Hello. Do you like Beelzebub? I sure don't. Plus,
Complete global masturbation. It's the only way.
Just get me out of here.
also, you do, as Leon, need to shoot at him occasionally, or if you don't shoot at him to keep him at bay, he will also own you.
Okay. Whatever you're doing is working.
It's Jeff Goldblum.
I wish she had the rod like the fucking Persona did. And just cause I want to. Bitch. You can do it, Helena. I believe
Here he
you.
comes.
He's doing his best.
We're down to just 2 incendiary grenades.
Let's make it 1. It honestly doesn't matter. Also, interesting fact, Helena's AI never redoes this sequence. Like, normally you have to go back to the control panel and redo the QTE. AI Helena just kinda doesn't give a shit and just, I guess, does it with her fucking mind. And I'm like, okay. Great.
She's Alice. She has mind powers.
You mean the RE3 remake, Jill? She looks like fucking Alice. And then they gave her the fucking outfit. And Resistance.
Oh. Wait, is that actually Alice's outfit?
It's called Retribution and Resistance. This is based off Alice's outfit then. Basically it is.
Yeah,
the leather one I wear, the leather one I wore for the race for RE3.
Yeah.
Yep. It's based off of Alice. Besides the sunglasses.
Lightning memes. I'm ready.
I hope it happens. Basically, shoot 2 of them. Whenever he does this, basically shoot all his arms besides 2. Leave basically 2 of them, and it'll trigger to where you can stab him in the head. And if you're not quick enough, it will fuck you over. Where? You basically want him to, like, yeah, kneel down like that. Huh. Oh, Magnum ammo. What the fuck? Aw, we didn't get any lightning memes. That's upsetting.
No.
I at least wanted the big one.
Restart.
The big one's so weird.
Restart the entire run.
Yep.
Not even just chapter 6. Just start at the university.
Invalid.
This run's a failure. It is faster to do where you stab his head, but on higher difficulties, you don't really get that trigger. You get the one where if you have a fire grenade or a remote bomb, you blow up his head that way. And to do damage.
Why is it important to leave 2 of the arms?
That's what causes him to fall down. You need at least 2 of the arms. If you can destroy all of them if you want, but you're wasting time. Because he reacts each time his arm gets shot. So
2 is the
yeah, 2 is at least the minimum to trigger it. I believe in you. I believe in the mullet. We all believe in the mullet.
Fly, Helena. You can fly as long as you have fuel.
Helena has to fly this helicopter.
Yeah, it's the only way she lives.
It's the only way they all live, damn it. Alright, use Magnum. I would only use the rocket in New Game, because I usually don't have Magnum ammo.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Sweet.
And we're done.
Nice.
Alright, skip. Because IGT still fucking goes, to a degree, so keep going.
During credits?
Yes!
Oh, that's bullshit.
So, I like the fact that Smokey's like, I can't skip the credits, and I'm like, yes you can. I would hate to run RE6 so I couldn't fucking skip the credits.
Damn, that was fun though.
That was fun.
GG, good run.
I'm sorry about the audio issues, but hey.
Oh, that's okay.
Maybe I solved it, and where maybe next time we do this. So I will be doing it for other campaigns to try to get my ass rolling on doing it. And I may do New Game. May is the very, very key term of May. At least want to do New Game Plus. But at least want to do this for a while. So
What was our final like total?